So, welcome to session 8. Um, so, I hope. So we're going to go ahead and go through the quick recap. So, you prepared for the expedition into Lumev. You bought a cart and a mule and a bunch of other supplies. You traveled into Lumev to find yourself outside of the portal on sheer cliffs hundreds of feet high. You were beset by strange red birds and had to fight off a whole group of them. You then traveled toward the Automata Cave to find a world crystal that asked, thought for life, if you got too close. You were attacked by panther-like creatures with tentacles. Oreo was stricken with a parasite, but you were able to create an antidote. You continued on your journey, finally resting for the night. As we, as we begin, it is the morning of Helia 13th, a hot summer day. So I'm going to go ahead and move you to the map. And let's make sure everything's centered. And I apparently have something on the wrong layer here real quick. So let me fix that real quick. There we go. All right. So you've woken up for the morning. You've packed up. Fortunately, you didn't suffer any attacks during the night. And so, where are you going to go next?
Well, so far the plan is to continue northeast, so this would be our first
Okay.
stop for the day.
Go ahead and stop moving real quick. So you see in the distance, several miles away, behind some tall hills, a a metal spire that raises into the air, and it seems to be grayish in color, and it seems to be twisted, almost like you would find a modern screw. However, it is, like I said, it is several miles to the northeast. So, what are you going to do?
Do you want to check that out or go to the Automata Cave first and maybe loop back to this?
Is it like literally right in front of us? Wouldn't we be able to do this on the way?
No, it's like I said, it's miles away. So essentially, you'd have to travel into that hex, and that would be the end of your day's travel.
Well, that's kind of our original travel plan anyway, so
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't it the direction we're already going?
yeah,
I
let
say
me
might as well. Maybe we
double
don't
check.
waste
Oh,
too much time here, but I think we should at least check it out.
Jeremy, one thing that I forgot to mention last session is that I do have as one of my skills cartography. And I'd like to be throughout our journey, like making a map, a detailed map of our like the path we travel and the any like monuments or things that stand out, and just kind of try to make a little map of the area.
Okay.
We can sell that map too, actually.
Exactly.
Not
Yeah.
to interrupt.
That's actually a good idea. So, what I'm actually going to have you do, since this is a foreign landscape and you're trying to orient yourself to these landmarks, is to go ahead and make a cartography skill roll.
Okay. I didn't actually set this up when I did my character creation. I didn't know what attribute. What do you know? What attribute this would
It would
use?
most
Is the
likely be
intelligence?
intelligence.
Yeah. Okay. I figured.
Okay.
Nice.
So, as you're documenting things, you realize that due to the roll that was made last time when navigating, that you were actually veering slightly to the west compared to the direction you wanted to go. But because of your cartography skill and being able to match up some nearby hills with what you have on the original map, you were able to correct your path.
Neat.
All right. So, what are you guys going to do?
Well, if I'm reading all this correctly, if we go to where the spire is, then yeah, we could explore that. And then it looks like the next day we would need to go due north, and we might actually get to the Automata Cave at the end of the next day. So If we decided to skip this for now, we could still go towards the Automata Cave and then come back through here on the way to the crater since it is on the way.
Why not deal with it now?
Yeah.
No
Sounds like a
reason
plan.
not to if we're gonna hit it anyways. Might as well do it now.
Yeah.
All right. So
As
yep.
we wind, as we get closer, I'm going to go ahead and send Char up for a preliminary look.
Alrighty. So yep, you approach, and Char notices from this from a distance, but the rest of you see it as you get close. Anyway, you see okay, yeah, you see some sort of ruins. The structure is a tall pyramid-like shape with a twisted gray metal spire raising from the apex, reaching towards the sky. It sits at the base of the cliffs, 200 feet below. The the structure is 200 feet tall, its apex almost at the top of the cliffs that you now stand. The pyramid structure is constructed from a bright white stone with no obvious signs of interlocking elements or seams. The edge is trimmed in blue metal, which brightly reflects the light. The base of the structure is 100 feet long on each side, and the apex is 20 feet square. Several bridges extend from the structure to the various cliff faces. These appear to be made of a dark blue stone and seem to be held up well despite the apparent age. 200 feet below, the rocky, arid environment gives way to lush plants, flowers, and small rodent-like animals. Ivy grows up dozens of feet up the faces of the massive structure. Several of the bridges seem to lead to caves in the cliff faces, though the closest bridge reaches just to the ground nearby. As you stand in the area, a sense of calm comes over you. There may be dangers ahead, yet somehow you feel that this was once a holy place. So what do you do?
Well, it looks like we brace ourselves for battle.
Yeah, there's like 20 birds around us.
Yeah.
So far, the birds haven't moved, but that's because probably because you've just arrived. You're not sure what'll set them off, if anything. And to the north of you, you see a small pool of water that looks clean, and you could use that to refill your water skins and barrels.
Is there sand around the outside?
Yeah,
I will take a pinch of it.
fair enough.
So I need spell materials that I realized I never bought, so I'm gonna take a pinch
Oh.
of sand.
Yeah, actually,
Wait a minute, you
speaking
don't
of,
have like an arcane focus?
I do, but I need materials, don't I? Still.
No,
No,
not
an
yet.
arcane
Only
focus
if it
takes
says
the
that it's
place.
consumed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, an arcane focus takes the place of all materials consumed or not that don't have a gold point cost or a gold piece cost.
Oh. So sand probably not gold piece. All right, then never mind.
speaking of spell materials, like Jeremy, just real quick, I do need holy water for a majority of my spells, but I would say as a church going man and a man of the being a holy man, I would assume that I would probably have some holy water. Is
That's
that
a good assumption.
okay?
If it's consumed, then you'll have to get more. If it's not
Right.
consumed, we'll just assume you
Well,
have it.
yeah. Well, sometimes it's like a splash or a sprinkle. It's not like it requires a large amount. So
Okay. It'll give you a gold piece cost if it's something you have to worry about.
okay, gotcha.
All right. As much as I hate birds, I think maybe we should find a way to not fight these birds.
I don't know if that's possible here. If we want to go any further,
Well, what I'm saying is I don't know. They're stupid birds. Maybe we could like, as bad as it is, maybe we could like give them some of our rations, give them some of our food, so they just leave us alone. Like pigeons. Like if you throw a bunch of food, they'll leave you alone.
I know that the pyramid is set in a cliff 200 feet down, but what are these? Are these bridges like from our level?
Yeah, those are the bridges I described earlier. They're the stone bridges. Most of them go to the side of the cliffs, but the one nearest you is essentially at ground level.
Oh,
So you could technically get on this bridge and cross.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm assuming we want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I have a feeling if we go any further, that these
yeah, the
birds are
birds are
gonna.
the birds
Yeah.
are gonna freak out. No, you're right.
So just so
Does
you know,
anybody?
you obviously have the option of backing off if you want, and camping somewhere and continuing on, or you have the option of moving ahead. It's up to you guys.
Okay,
um,
guys, we can't get stepped off by some birds. Like,
I was gonna say, do we want to hit this water here before we do go too much further, or we can come back for that?
I'm gonna go fill up my water
sh-
skin.
yeah, we can refill
oh,
our.
fill up the water skins. Smart.
Yeah,
Does anybody
Okay.
have purified water? I don't want to drink nasty pond
I
water.
can detect. I have detect poison and disease, but I can't purify.
Do you want to try using detect
Um.
poison and disease?
Well, I figure if we're gonna use a spell slot, you might as well just purify it because if I detect and there is poison, we're gonna use 2 spell slots anyway. So,
Is it a ritual? Can you do or no?
I don't. Do I have ritual casting?
As a
Oh, it
paladin, I'm
does.
pretty sure you don't, but
I- Okay, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm able to.
because yeah, that's
Well,
generally something the main spellcasters have, unless you get it as a feat.
well, I have both, but I'm not prepared for it today. And truth be told, if I'm going to bother, it makes more sense to just go straight to purification. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like it's going to poison something if you cast it on something that's already pure.
Okay,
But
so
I'll
come
have to
back to the
set that up
water tomorrow.
tomorrow. But we're going to have to camp out here tonight anyway, so
All right.
that's not a big problem to deal with in the morning.
Oh, it has the ritual tag, which means I believe that means I can cast it as a ritual.
If you can cast rituals.
Oh, if I can cast.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, I
the
have no
ranger
idea.
couldn't
Yeah.
cast rituals, even though some of the spells he could use had the ritual tag. But the druid
I see.
cast those spells because
Oh yeah, yep. I looked it up. No, I cannot cast ritual spells. Yep.
Neither can I. Very sad time.
Yeah, might as well just move to purifying it right away.
I mean,
Don't
it
see the
looks
point.
clean. I think we'll probably
Is
be fine.
there a limit to how much water you can purify at a time?
Based on what the spell says.
let me look. Okay.
Or can you just be like
All
this whole
non-magical
pond?
food and drink within a 5-foot radius sphere centered on a point of your choice within range is purified and rendered free of poison and disease.
Okay.
So we just have to kind of bundle everything up in one
Yeah.
hex, and then we should be good.
Gotcha.
We could also just observe if other animals drink out of the water, because although that's not a perfect solution.
There are no other animals around where you are, although there is down way below. The only animals close by are the birds that you're probably hoping don't notice you.
Yeah. Uh,
All right, so what do you do? You filled up your. Oh no, you haven't because you're worried about poison and stuff. So what are you gonna do?
honestly, let's
Well,
not take the unneeded risk. We can just wait till we have purified water and purify
yeah,
an entire hex of water and refill our entire water jug and shit like that.
I mean, yeah, we
yeah,
still have
yeah,
over a week and a half of water apiece, so
yeah. And I was gonna say we can just start trying to figure out how to get to the temple there.
Yeah, so let's make a choice before we start heading towards the temple. Are we gonna beat the shit out of these birds, or are we gonna try and not fight them?
Oh, we can always try and sneak by, and if they attack, then we are going to beat the shit out of them. But if they don't attack, then
Fair enough.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
I will start making my way forward, stealthing to like around here. I'm assuming these piles of rocks are how high? Maybe like 5 feet or something? No, not 5 feet, but maybe.
So these piles are probably around 3 feet. These are large but easy rocks, easy to step over. Less than a foot. Um, the the different the very large rocks are higher, but there's none nearby, so that's all you have to worry about.
But this set here, is it about the same as this one behind?
Yeah.
Is it like okay, so I'm gonna try and stealth my way to like here.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check then. All right. You get to there, and nothing has moved.
I kind of look back at Rogu, kind of give him the sign like I'm gonna keep going, keep me cover,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna keep moving forward again. Just I don't know how many. If I have to make another stealth check, but I just want to get to there to see if they still notice me or not.
No. They haven't noticed you at all so far.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start making my way on the bridge.
All right, you start crossing the bridge, and you notice that it is a slight downward slope. The end here is about 20 feet lower than the top of the cliff and the top of the structure. So you start making your way down, and as you start walking, you the some of these nearby birds start looking agitated. They haven't moved yet, but they're kind of hopping around and they weren't before. Do you going to continue?
They still don't notice me though, but they're just getting hyped up.
Yeah, maybe it's small sounds in the stone as you walk by. This is obviously very ancient, so maybe it's those slight sounds that are doing something.
Hmm. Yeah, why not? I'll take one more step forward just to see, and I'm gonna try and do it as carefully as possible. I
All
just
right,
wanna
you take
see. Yeah.
another step forward. Go ahead and make a dex save for me. Okay, you step forward, and there's a bit of a crack in the stone, and you hear a little bit of a cracking noise as you step on it. And at that point in time, the bridge itself seems sturdy, but that seems to be enough that these birds start flying toward the sound of the crack. And I'm going to have everybody roll initiative.
No, the birds are coming.
They're coming.
I don't know why it rolled both.
It's fine. I can delete the extra. It's not a problem.
Wow.
Let's see. Did I get these guys yet? I don't think so. All right. All right. Has everybody rolled initiative?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. So it is round one, and Oreo, you were trying to sneak across this bridge, but unfortunately, the bridge was your enemy here. Your skill was fine. You were doing everything possible, and you see two birds currently flying in your direction. So what do you do?
I will take. Um. I'll take out my. I can only take one weapon out. I'll take out the bow and hit the first one in front of me, which would be number 5.
Fair enough. That's a hit. So you hit it, and the first one, you lodge the arrow in the bird. It starts falling, and then it burns up into ash. Is that the end of your turn?
Uh. Uh. Okay. I haven't even made movement, so yeah, I'm gonna go back here,
Okay,
and that'll be my
fair
turn.
enough. All right. Given the squawking that these birds, of course, are going to be doing as they fly in order to alert all the other birds, birds start coming from the north. So I think it's 9. So there. and I guess it'll stay there. So, Ragu, you can see Phoenix Hawk 1 just flying over the tree, approaching your direction. What are you going to do?
Um, Actually, I'm going to go ahead and aim for Phoenix Hawk 6 here.
Fair enough.
Um,
That's a hit. So you blast the bird for 4 points of damage, taking off more than half its health, but it's still flying around. Is that the end of your turn? Ragu?
yes, that's
Okay.
going to have to be the end of my turn.
Fair enough. Galen, the birds are coming. What are you going to do?
Yeah, they're coming. I'm gonna shoot the bird one
Okay.
with fire. My only friend. Um,
That's a hit.
awesome.
And
Nice.
with one hit, you burn it into ash. Is that the end of your
Stupid
turn?
bird. I'm thinking about whether I want to move, but I think I'm good right here, honestly.
Fair enough. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another bird's flying to the south, most likely out of sight. And then another bird from the north is flying in. All right, Devok, you can see the birds starting to fly in. What are you going to do?
Alright, we'll move this way to there, and I'll shoot Phoenix Hawk 3.
All right,
If I can.
go ahead. You shoot Phoenix Hawk 3, but it's still fairly far away and manages to avoid your shot. Their AC is 12.
Okay. My turn.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
All right. Another bird starts swooping in. And from the south, a bird starts swooping in. And this one uses dash because it is quite far away. And then another one. All right. And then more birds from the southwest.
There's so many birds.
All right, Pico, you see the swarm of birds flying in. What are you going to do?
Uh, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I guess I'll move here. And I can Phoenix Hawk 2 with Produce Flame.
Okay. And that's a hit. And you burn
Wow.
it for 1 point of damage. Is that the end of your turn?
Not just yet.
Okay.
Gonna move here.
Fair enough. All right. Ire, several birds are closing in. What are you going to do?
Okay, I will pull out a javelin and throw it at number 2.
Just before you do that, one thing that you would realize is that javelin is going to fall 200 feet to the ground.
Oh, he's far. Oh,
Because remember, the
No, we're
area
high
down
up on
here is 200 feet below the cliffs where you are up here.
yep. Okay, I will not do that. I'll pull out a javelin and I'll hold my action.
What's the trigger?
One of these guys coming within 30 feet.
All right.
Well, they're all just about within 30 feet anyway. Maybe when they're close
Over
enough that
the
your javelin
cliffside.
won't go off.
Right, sure, yeah.
Well,
Close enough for me to actually hit them.
Cover your javelin.
although actually, maybe you should wait till they're melee range. If you miss with the javelin, it's going to
Yeah,
go over the cliff anyway, most
that's
likely.
true. Yeah, I'll lose it. Yeah, well, whatever.
You could just move to like in front of me, and then
Yeah,
whenever they get within melee distance, you swing.
yeah.
Okay, several more birds have flown in. The Phoenix Hawk with a 0 for his initiative is now going. Who can actually make it all the way to Oreo, and he is attacking. With an 18, which I believe is a hit. So Oreo, it rips out 5 points of damage of your flesh. And then finally, with a -1, the Phoenix Hawk 10. I always find it amusing that you can have negative initiative. All right, the beginning of round 2. So Oreo, the bird right next to you has just attacked you. It didn't have enough movement to fly away, so it is still within melee reach.
Okay, so I'm gonna switch over to my rapier and go for the bird. It's in melee, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you stab at it, but it flies out of reach.
Okay, I'm gonna use my claws for the offhand.
Okay. And that's a hit. All right, you strike it for 1 point of damage. Is that correct?
Yeah,
All right. Is that the end of your turn?
that's it.
All right, Ragu, the birds are clustering. What are you going to do?
Um, Char is going to fly over to here to give me help, and then he's going to swoop back this way, down out of harm.
Okay.
I am going to run over here, and with my first attack, swing at this bird directly in front of me.
Fair enough. Go for it.
21.
That's a hit.
7.
And you do enough damage to slice it in half, and then it burns to ash.
And my offhanded attack is going to be throwing a dart at him.
Okay.
Back to normal. Dart.
The dart sails off the edge and lands on the ground. Is that the end of your turn?
That is.
All right. Galen, the birds are swarming. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna shoot at Phoenix Hawk 4. That one looks like the most dangerous one.
Okay.
No, that's not happening.
You shoot, it goes past, and eventually it hits the side of the large structure. Is that the end of your
Oops.
turn?
I'm gonna hide and cower behind Ire.
Fair enough, you cower. All right. So bird 13 continues his long, long trek.
He's still not here. No. Oh, he is. Never mind.
Okay. Bird 3 is now close enough to attack. He swoops in, attacks Devok, and swoops past. And we'll see if that was a hit. With an 18, it fails to strike it at Devok. And Devok, it is now your turn. Phoenix Hawk 3 just attempted to tear off your skin. What are you going to do?
I'll shoot that one.
Do the Hawks
Pretty
attack at advantage, or is that just on?
It's always rolling for advantage because I haven't fixed it. I'm just using the first number because they don't have advantage by default. All right, so that's 24 is a hit, and you slams him with 2 points, and you're attacking Phoenix Hawk 3, right? All right. Is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
Alrighty, Phoenix Hawk 2 is then going to swoop in and attack Ire. He's going to then move past 1, which is probably not the brightest idea, but it is an animal. And an 18, it scratches your armor. And then Phoenix Hawk 9, after its long journey,
Wasn't that his action held?
what?
Oh
Didn't Ire
yeah,
hold an
Ire
action
held
Oh,
an
to?
Oh yeah,
good
attack.
point.
true,
Thanks for
true.
bringing that up. So, Ire, go ahead and do your attack.
Hit him.
Yep, as he's flying in.
And that's a hit. And that skewers him, and it lands at your feet with your javelin still embedded before it burns to ash.
Nice.
All right. Phoenix Hawk 9, after its long journey, is going to swoop past, Oreo and attack. With the 13, which I believe is a miss. And then Phoenix Hawk 8 is going to swoop past Ragu with the 16, which that's a hit, correct?
That would be a hit, but I arcane deflect.
Okay, and so you avoid 3 points of damage. And then Phoenix Hawk 12 which is flying from the south. Phoenix Hawk 14, which is flying from the south. Phoenix Hawk 11, which is flying from the south. And Pico. Some of the birds have gone down, including one right in front of you, but more are coming. What are you going to do?
Phoenix Hawk 3, is it on the ground?
It is close enough to the ground to hit from melee.
All right, well, I'll step forward and hack at it with my claws. Start with the main hand attack. Ooh.
And that's a crit. So you hit him for 5 points, which is exactly what you needed to destroy the thing. It is now ash. Is that the end of your turn?
Nope. I am going to come over here, kind of help reinforce Devok and Char, and I'm going to attack the other for Phoenix Hawk 9.
All right. You go to attack, and it flies straight up out of range. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
All right. Ire, there are several birds to the south. Phoenix Hawk 9, despite flying up, came back down, so is within melee range. Phoenix Hawk 6 is within melee range. 8 and 4 are not melee range.
All right, pulling out my flail, running up to number 9 over here, giving him a smack.
All right. That's a hit. You smash him into the ground. He he catches on fire around the head of your flail, and he is dust. Is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
All right. Phoenix Hawk 4 is going to fly past Devok and Oreo, attacking Devok. With the 21, he hits, ripping out 4 points of flesh. You take 4 points of damage. Phoenix Hawk 6 is flying near Oreo and just pecks at her. With the 16, does that hit?
Yeah.
Okay. So you take 3 points of damage as it rips more of your flesh. All right. And then Phoenix Hawk 10 flies past Ragu. And he hits. Does your spell still protect you?
Arcane deflection, yeah.
Okay, it's still active? All right. All right, so we're at the beginning of round 3. Oreo, this bird next to you is still tearing into you. What are you going to do?
Yep. The rapier first.
That's a hit. All right, you stab it to death.
And then I'm gonna move over here, bonus action to hit the Phoenix Hawk Town with the
So
with
can you say
one of
that
the
louder?
daggers. Sorry,
Be real
hitting her
quiet.
with a dagger.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a hit. All right, you stabbed him, you cut him slightly, and he moved out of the way. Is that the end of your turn?
I'm going to. I'm thinking about it. Hold on, give me a sec.
Okay.
I swear there's some D1s in the random number generator.
Yeah.
Um, I'll be here instead. Still within melee, so no opportunity. But that's it.
Okay. All right, Ragu. The birds are still flocking. What are you going to do?
All right. Char is gonna swoop over this way to give aid on Phoenix Hawk 4, and then he's gonna fly back the other direction, right behind Pico there. I am going to 2, 3, run over and swing away.
And that's a
23,
hit.
11
And
points.
you cut him into bits.
All right, and that's 4, 5. Okay, and then I'm gonna offhand this guy here.
Go for it.
Oh
Critical
no.
hit.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that should have been
Yeah,
normal,
that's
but
fine, but
critical.
we're taking the first hit if in that case. So you smash that one. So you run around, you slice the first one in half, you continue running, you punch the second one and destroy it as well. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes. Just a puff of feathers and some flame.
All right, Galen. The birds are being thinned out. What are you going to do?
Yeah, let's keep doing that. I'm gonna move down to some further cover, and I'm gonna shoot Phoenix Hawk 8, or I'm gonna try to shoot Phoenix Hawk 8.
All right,
Yeah.
critical hit. Starting to make up for some of those ones, and you
Yeah,
take him
Yeah.
out in one hit.
Darn Skippy.
All right, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I'll stay right there.
Fair enough. Phoenix Hawk 13, being a dumb, hungry creature, doesn't realize how outmatched it is and flies right in past Oreo and attacks. With the 13, I believe that's a miss. So Devok, the bird is right in between Ragu and Pico, giving you advantage to hit because he is now flanked.
Okay, I'll shoot him.
Dumb bird. Critical hit.
Nice. 6.
All right, and your blast strikes him with enough force to cause him to be demolished. Sorry, a little tongue tied. All right, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
All right, Phoenix Hawk 12 flies past Oreo, doing an attack on the way. With a 6, so that's a miss. And then Phoenix Hawk 14. It also attacks Oreo with the 22, which is a hit, and does another 5 points of damage as it rips out more of her fur. And Phoenix Hawk 11 flies past Devok, attacking, and manages to hit. And Devok, you take 6 points as he rips off your scales.
Yeah.
All right, Pico. There are a whole line of birds right in front of you. What are you going to do?
Yeah, it takes some seriously stupid birds to be attacking cats. So I move to this spot here so I can get advantage on both of the closest ones. And then one where I lost my character sheet. Let's see. All right, bring that back up. Come on. All right, so I am going to first attack Phoenix Hawk 12
Okay.
claws.
Oh, you have advantage, so that's a hit. All right, and you manage to take him out. You rip him into pieces,
And I am then going to attack Phoenix Hawk 11 with my offhand attack.
which is also a hit for 2 points of damage. Definitely feeling it, but still alive. Is that the end of your turn?
Not quite. I am going to. Ragu's right there. I'll go ahead and move here to help give Ire advantage.
Okay. You do realize that being there, the Phoenix Hawks does also have advantage on you.
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Fair enough. All right, Ire, you have advantage on the Phoenix Hawk right next to you. What are you going to do?
All right, he's going down. He's getting the flail. That's what.
That hits. And you
Yeah,
take him
he's
down.
gone.
It's one hit. Puff of smoke, and it's no more. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so we're on round 4. Oreo, it looks like there's one of these pests left. So what are you going to do?
It's in melee, right?
Yes,
Okay. Rapier.
that hits. All right, you stab him for 4 points of damage, and then do your sneak attack, finishing him off. So we're going to go ahead and end combat as the last of the birds has fallen, as far as you can tell.
Sweet. Oreo, you look like you need some health before we investigate this pyramid.
I believe that. I think you've already used that thing on me today, and it's. Or is it a new day? It's a new day,
Oh,
right?
I
No,
thought it
it's
was
a
a
new
new
day.
day because we had just
Okay.
Yeah,
slept
we
after
camped.
traveling, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is a new
Okay.
day.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that then. So 10 plus your hit dice maximum.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Pico, do you want me to use yours now or save it?
Let's save it.
Okay, and then Ire, do you want me to heal you? Or do you want to like rest up something later?
I have hit dice. I'll be fine.
You said it
Okay.
was 6 plus the hit die
No,
total?
it
10.
was 10. Sorry, I just
10
don't
plus.
do
Okay.
the
Okay.
+4 because I'm too lazy to type it.
Got it. Okay.
Well, shit, let's check out this pyramid then.
Sorry, was there a problem with the bridge? Should we be worried about it breaking?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I share with you guys that it seems like the bridge is stable. It was just that I guess the,
There's
some
some
noises.
cracks, and there's some obviously there's some areas where you get some loose bits that might fall and that kind of thing. But the bridge as a whole seemed very stable.
Yeah, so that's what I
I
try
don't.
to.
I don't suppose you could try jumping up and down on it. That's how Crom Schwartzen might have done it.
Yes, but he wouldn't mind if it crumbled under him.
Yeah, so it seems like it's pretty stable enough. So I mean, yeah, sure, let's start making our way across. If anybody wants to go ahead, if not, I will lead the way.
Go ahead and move along as well.
Okay, so yeah, you move across the bridge. You hear some cracks, and a few little bits falls off the bottom of the bridge, but otherwise nothing else happens. And then you arrive at some sort of metal door, and on the metal door you see what looks a lot like a handprint, but with 6 fingers.
Hmm.
Ire, do you know what this is? Do you have rushing memories or something?
Yep, you can roll your d8.
Yeah,
I do.
two for
Yep.
two, 2 for 2.
Let me
Are there any
look
signs
up
or
what
Well
symbols?
done.
let me look up what that is real quick.
I remember.
Sorry, it's being a little slow. See right there.
It's gotta process. My circuits are.
All right. Yep. A short memory floods into your mind, and you seem to remember uh, these robed humanoids. You don't, in your memory, you don't get a very good look at them. But you do see that they have a single thumb, but they actually have five other fingers. Um, and you see some of them entering this structure with some sort of incense, and it seems to be some sort of ceremony. And then the memory ends.
Hmm.
So it is a holy site.
Is there any way to detect based on the what the print looks like if it's fresh or if it's been there
Oh,
for a
it's
long?
clear nobody has touched this thing in a long time with the dust and everything. It's in good shape, surprisingly, but it might be decades, might even be hundreds of years.
So let's just see how thorough this thing is. Does somebody want to put their hand plus an extra finger on the thing?
Well,
All right.
first
Are
things
there any
first.
symbols or anything, or is it just the handprint
It's just a
on the
handprint.
thing flat?
Yeah, it's just a flat metal surface with the handprint in the middle.
I mean, this is gonna be tough, but is there any way to detect traps off of something like this if it's technology I don't know?
Mm, it's possible there you might notice something, so go ahead and roll. It's unlikely, but go ahead and roll.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And I go ahead and look at my foot, and it's like, well, I'm not a six-toed cat.
So you don't think there's any traps, but honestly, you're not sure.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna go ahead and see what I can deduce. This is an object, right? So artificer's lore.
Sure. What are you looking for?
Um, traps, opening mechanisms. Um, how it's actually opened. I mean, can you put just a regular hand on it, or does it require a bizarre hand, or just how it can be opened and whether it can be opened safely?
Okay, go ahead and roll. All right. You've determined that you're pretty sure you can open it up by putting your hand on there. You're you're not sure whether you need all the fingers or not. It might open without them. As far as if it's safe, it's probably safe.
Okay, I'll go ahead and put my hand on there.
All right, you put your hand on there and it glows briefly and then opens. So let me go ahead and open that map. So a 30 by 30 foot by 30 foot room opens up in front of you. And let me look it up real quick. Yep, so a 30 foot by 30 foot room opens up. The ceiling is a massive 20 feet high. Tall pillars reach from the floor to the ceiling. Along the walls are several fountains of clear water, water flowing from beneath. At the center is a large crystalline structure growing from the floor, with a matching structure hanging from the ceiling. Behind that are four pedestals, and between them are two massive metal doors embedded in the floor. The walls are constructed of the same blue metal as the trim outside, the floor finely polished tile. The walls are adorned with carvings that show vaguely shaped robed humanoids in supplication to the moon above. Along the surfaces are etched alien runes which look simple and angular. In each corner are ghostly yet vaguely defined humanoid shapes that cast dim bluish light into the room. One of them shows a humanoid bowing their head, one of the images on the wall shows a humanoid bowing their head before a glowing form, just touching it. So what do you do?
But it's 20 feet high and there's no like it's just an opening from the ceiling to the ground to like this room. There's nothing that kind of like lets us come in.
Uh, there's the door you came through, but there's no other
Oh, I thought it
opening
was.
other than the it looks like
Then
doors
yeah,
embedded in the floor.
and scratch what I was just saying. I mistook the where we entered from. All good.
Um, those strange ruins or runes.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead. Um, actually, first I'll take a quick look around to make sure I look at Dory and make sure nothing's trapped. But I want to go ahead and take a rubbing of those runes if I can, and
Okay,
then
go
I
ahead and
will
make a perception check for traps first.
help me out or no.
Yeah, sure.
Now, how steep is this exterior?
I'm helping you out. You can roll
Yeah,
again.
you'll roll
Oh,
advantage. Sorry, say that one more time. What's the question, Pico?
I was asking how steep the exterior was.
It's a pretty steep because it's basically from the center to the edge is about 50 feet, but it goes up 200 feet.
Alrighty.
Anyway, with your 20, you're looking around and you don't see any obvious traps. But one thing you do notice is that there's the imagery of the supplicants on the walls with some runes nearby. You don't know what they say, but they seem to be attached to those images. And then, repeated separately, you see the same set of runes repeated multiple times. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what those are.
everybody can look around and not touch anything overly important for like 10 minutes. I can comprehend the languages.
Whoa.
And those are the symbols that you see. They seem to be carved by hand. And they should be available in your documents now, under the assumption that Ragu is going to jot them down.
Yes, I'm gonna be doing everything. Document as much as possible. I got plenty of paper and pen and chalk and everything.
And one thing you do know, and I mentioned this before, is that since this is an alien language, or languages perhaps, that the creators of your spell had no knowledge of, you casting the spell by itself won't be enough to learn the languages. It's going to take more time and effort than that.
Well, fish, fancy F, two other Fs in Delphi. That already has so much meaning.
Okay, so that's what Ragu is doing. What's everybody else doing?
I like the crystal. I'm gonna look at it.
Okay, you approach the crystal, and it is glowing. And as you get close, I'm going to need you to make a wisdom save.
But maybe not because my mental shielding ring allows me to be stupid with powers beyond my comprehension.
Sorry, so what does the ring do exactly?
It protects me from people attacking my brain. Hold on, let me pull up the exact text. Uh, I'm immune to magic that allows other creatures to read my thoughts, and creatures can only telepathically communicate me if I allow it. Is it like different from all that? Do I
Okay,
still have to?
no, that's pretty close. There is a presence pushing on your mind. I'm going to say it's not exactly the same, but you get advantage on your wisdom save.
Okay. Well, fingers crossed.
Okay. Yep.
I
So it's pressing on your mind, but um, your mind is just too strong, and it's unable to get through.
okay. I'll back off and warn everybody that the crystal is malicious, or at least trying to talk to me through my
And,
brain.
and Oreo, so you're standing near one of the fountains. You notice that the water is crystal clear, and you're not sure if it's just a trick of the light, but you think there might be a subtle glow to it.
Hmm.
I tell that to the rest of the team.
You guys want to wait around another 10 minutes and I can try identifying?
Yeah, I'm
All
good
right.
for that.
All right. I go ahead and ritual cast identify on the water in the fountain.
Okay,
See if I can
you
glean the
do
properties.
so, and it does seem to be imbued with some sort of magic somehow. And you seem to think that it can affect your health. Most likely in a positive way, but you feel like it might also overwhelm you and affect you in a negative way. But it seems like it can go either way.
Ire, drink this water.
Hmm.
It's holy water. It's got to be good.
Okay.
Yeah,
You go
yeah.
to drink the water, and then you realize that liquids like this would have no effect on you.
No.
I mean, he
What if
says it's
he
holy
like?
water.
What if he like poured it over like his body or something weird?
Is that what you're going to do?
Do you want me? I mean, do I think it would have any effect?
You don't think so. You might
Nah.
make a mess, but you don't think it'll have any effect.
Then no, I'm not gonna do
No.
That's mean. Just because he doesn't have like a stomach.
it.
All right, Devok, are you doing anything?
Um,
So you got the glowing figures, you have the fountains, you have the pedestals, you have the door on the floor. Um,
check out the
And the
figures.
comprehend languages didn't give me anything at all.
Well, like I said, yeah, I'd mentioned this at the beginning that identify on items that you find here and comprehend languages don't work the same because, like I said, this is alien stuff that wasn't factored in when the spells were
Well,
created. Um,
I,
it
I was
still
hoping
works
to
the
get.
same with everything back home, and given enough time and other methods of experimentation and research, it can kind of help, but it's not going to give you anything just by casting it.
Okay. I was hoping for at least a clue, if not any major information, but okay. I think it's something else. Let's see here.
Anyway, Devok, what were you saying?
Let's check out the glowing figures.
Okay. You approach one of the glowing figures. I'm assuming it's going to be this one here, or it's going to be another one.
The one next to you.
Okay. You approach, and you get this voice in your head that you know is speaking a language you don't understand, but yet you can still understand what the voice is trying to say. And it says, "Strength of body for quickness of wit."
Hmm. Okay, I tell people that that's what it says
And where do you see that?
on one of these statues. The one
Oh,
right next to me.
Okay. So,
Can you
Galen,
get?
what? Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to mention to Galen. Can you get to the other statues or see if they're all different?
Sure. I'll listen to this one next to me.
Sure. That one, you hear the voice in your head. Life for thought.
Life for thought.
Oh,
So Constitution for intelligence. Let's see what this boy has.
Okay. That one says quickness of body for swiftness of mind.
Neat. Dex for, I don't know, maybe wisdom.
and
And corner.
Um, that one says strength of body for quickness of wit.
that one's wisdom.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got strength for wisdom, um, intelligence for dex. What were the other two again?
Uh,
Um,
it was
First two.
quickness of wit for just
Can
drink the
can you
body or
Oh,
somebody
so
just
for
stand next to
one,
them again so we can hear them again? Cause I was trying to write them down, but it was not fast enough.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll just assume you do that then. So I'm just going to put them in the
Thank you.
chat.
You know what? While we're at it, I'm gonna let the crystal talk to me too.
Well, it already tried, and your mind, your shield is too strong.
Oh, so it doesn't like me anymore?
Oh, it looks like I missed one. My bad. All right, so I missed one. So I'll just do it now.
Thought for life. I like that one.
That was the
That was
first one.
good.
That was from the same crystal from the one that we just went to in the last session.
Yeah, thought for life.
All right, so Ire, what are you doing? So out of everything, like you got the door, you have the four pedestals, and I think you guys have checked out everything else.
I'm not sure if I
um,
wanna.
as part of that identify, does it let me know if I can take this water away from this specific area without it losing its magic properties?
Based on your experience with these things, even without the identify, you think that's highly unlikely.
Okay, just figured I'd check.
So Ire, what are you doing, if anything? Or Pico?
I don't know if I want to give up any thought for life here, but
What is this big metal? Looks like two doors or
Yeah, so
something.
there's metal doors embedded in the floor. And next to the metal doors are four pedestals.
you know what? I want to talk to the crystal.
Okay, go ahead and make a wisdom save.
Oh, I shouldn't. My
You
bad.
go through and, well, actually, that's the question is, well, A, I don't think you should have advantage. And the second
No, yeah,
question
that's good.
is, were you actually trying to let it in your mind, or are you just open to the idea? Meaning, are you focusing on letting it in, or are you like, well, I'm not going to do anything special to avoid it?
I'm looking for it. I'm interested in this thing.
Okay, in that case, it does. Yeah, then your roll doesn't matter. Um, so here it is. So anyway, yeah, you go up to it, and you feel this presence enter your mind, and you can tell it's there, but it doesn't speak or seem to do anything. But it's in your mind, and um, several moments later, the feeling fades, and you can't even tell it's there anymore. Yet you're pretty sure it is. And for some
Hmm.
reason, during that process, you've gained +1 to your wisdom saves permanently.
Whoa.
Oh, I'll take it. I think I
So
did
I
that.
think if you go on the options thing, you can add
Yep.
bonuses to your wisdom saves or something like that.
Yep.
Anyway, Pico, you're standing over there. There's the door. There's the pedestal. So what are you doing?
And inspect the pillars or whatever those things are.
So yeah, their pedestals probably about 4 feet tall, and in the pedestal it's fairly plain, but each one of them has a depression that is a circular depression that is a foot in diameter and an inch deep.
It's big. They're circular, you said?
Yes.
Hmm.
So circular depressions that are a foot in diameter and 1 inch thick or deep.
How does it look like these doors would open? Is there any?
Um, there are handles, but as big and heavy as they are, you're not sure if they do anything or if they're useful.
Are there any Even if it doesn't look like they're removable, is there any maybe on the walls or ceiling any circular shaped, maybe similarly shaped objects or
You're
even just
looking
like
around.
decoration?
So yeah, go ahead and you don't see anything obvious, but you can make a perception check. Yep, you definitely don't see anything.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, we can always just try opening it.
At the and at the bottom of the holes there in the pedestals, if I feel in there, is it just solid all the way through? Is there's no
Yeah, if
doesn't push
you mean
down?
where the depression is? Yeah, you're
Yep.
feeling that the pedestal itself is made out of stone, but the depression is metal.
Huh.
So it feels a bit cold to the touch. But otherwise, if you press on it or whatever, nothing happens.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, just trying. Do the doors open if I pull on them?
You'd go to a pool, and number one, it's hard to even get the leverage as large as those doors are. And you
Hmm.
try to move them, and you would guess that they're many hundreds of pounds, if not heavier. And you try pulling, and nothing happens.
Got it.
We
So it
we know
looks
that
like we need
there's
circles.
We need circles, yeah.
Go ahead, Oreo.
no, I was thinking to myself a bit. So if we know that there's depressions on each of the um what are they called again? Jeez.
Pedestals.
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 Pedestals. If each one of us are by it and we try just doing something with them, and then maybe someone stand by the door, maybe it might trigger something. I don't know. It's just a
Hmm.
guess.
I'm thinking, how far down is this? Is water down here, right?
No, those are the glowing, vaguely humanoid shapes.
Oh, gotcha.
These are water.
These are water. Okay. Is there enough space to stand on the pedestals, or are they like
They're
in the?
about 4 feet high. The ceiling's plenty tall enough so you could climb on and stand on there if you wanted to. It's going to be a balancing act, so you're going to have to make
Yeah,
an acrobatics check
no,
to avoid falling on your face, but otherwise,
never
you'd be
mind.
fine.
I'm thinking maybe if we fill them with the water from the four corners. I don't know. That's all I can really think of.
I mean, I think that this, because it was like a ritual thing, they probably had like stuff that they
Discs.
brought with them.
Yeah,
Yeah, they brought in like keys or whatever.
that's very possible.
Although they're aliens, we don't know. Maybe they do
Yeah.
just stand on the pedestals and go like,
Yeah, styles of
"Woo!"
stand on them or like fill them with the water or something. We could try the
Yeah,
water.
yeah. Maybe try putting the water in there.
Is that what you're going to
Doesn't
do?
hurt,
You're going
right?
to try
Yeah.
cupping the water and then dumping it in there?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. Well, I can use a water skin or something. One
sure.
from each.
So you guys spend a couple of minutes to fill up. Are you filling up all four or just one?
All four of them,
All
like
four.
one with each of the
Yeah.
Sure, you
corner.
fill up all four, and they're full of water, but nothing happens. The water just sits there.
Well, that's a wash.
What are these guys
Uh,
made out of again? Sorry.
They seem to be translucent. You don't
Like
know what they're made
holograms.
out of.
Got it. They're just made out of stuff.
yeah, stuff. Yeah.
Ragu would
Yeah.
like to try some of the water, almost.
Okay, so you're gonna drink some of the
Um,
water.
Actually, I'm going to say, Char, would you like a tiny little drink? I do believe that it will not hurt you. I think it will do something interesting.
Okay,
I would
so
like to give him just a little, little capful, little sip of quickness of body for swiftness of mind.
so just to be clear, the statues were the ones saying that. The water's the ones that may give you may positively or negatively affect your health.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was getting that backwards then.
Okay, so you're gonna take it up to one of the glowing figures.
Yes, I've got him as like, I think it might actually help you, friend.
All right, so which one are you
And
doing?
I get close. Um, quickness of body for swiftness of mind.
Okay.
You're taking advantage of how stupid he is to make him stupider?
No, I'm not taking advantage of how stupid he is.
That
He's actually
seems
very
wrong.
intelligent for a familiar. It's just that I think it'll give him a +1 dex, which will actually increase his armor class.
So
Ah,
just to be
okay.
clear, it says quickness of body for swiftness of mind, and you're going to hold the bird up to the statue or to the glowing figure.
Yeah, I'd let him know
Yeah.
what's going on. If he
You
Sure,
objects, then he
grammar.
could object.
wait. You want deck? I feel like never mind. No, I understand.
Well, quickness of body is dex, strength of body is
Right, but do we
strength.
know which one is being given up?
Yeah, that's what I'm also interpreting it too. Is that you're
Yeah,
giving
I
up
thought
dex
like maybe you're
for
giving up your quickness of body
yeah.
for the swiftness of the mind.
Oh, yeah, you're
That's
right.
not true.
Okay, yeah, I was reading that wrong. But then again, I've been confused all day. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna back up a little bit on that.
Okay.
At first, I thought it was the water that gave those things, but strength of
Maybe it is
body
like
for
a one
quickness
for
of
one
wit.
trade.
So
Well,
yeah, it looks like your echo.
I have a really dumb idea one could try.
And you're still echoey, but what's your idea?
Who wants to try life for thought and then thought for life?
That actually sounds kind of fun.
It's all of you. Why don't you try it?
I mean, my spells are not based off anything besides charisma, so it wouldn't really negatively affect me that much.
Do
Uh,
it.
And my life already sucks, so unless it's Constitution, then it doesn't really suck.
all right, Galen. So what are you doing?
I'm gonna go trade my life for thought, and then later trade my thought for life.
Okay,
Hopefully.
trading your life for thought reduces your intelligence by 1 and adds 1 to your constitution. And then
Sweet.
trading your thought for life reduces your constitution by 1 and adds your intelligence, meaning you're back at net 0.
No way. That's gnarly.
However, you get the sense that you can't do that again. At least not with those
Yeah,
two.
I won't. I won't. Oh, so I can't do either of those
So
two
wait,
things
which
again.
one was which?
So life for thought
It
removed 1 intelligence and added 1 constitution.
So basically, what you're
Okay.
giving up
Plus
for
minus.
incidental
Yeah, yeah,
trade
yeah. It's plus
change.
minus. Yeah, I got
yeah,
it.
the first one is what you're going to give up. The second one is what you're actually going to receive. Is that how that
Wait,
works?
I interpreted it the other way. Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what I
That-
was interpreting, but that's not
Well,
how
no,
that
I
works.
mean, I thought he just said that life for thought was
Gave me a
You lost.
a
Constitution.
con. It was a con for a int. I thought.
No, sir, you're
Yeah,
giving
that,
up life for thought.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
never
so the
mind.
first
Never
one
mind.
is what you're
I got it. Yeah,
sacrificing.
yeah,
The
I got it.
second one is what you're receiving.
Which, to
Okay.
be fair, the wording is slightly vague. You're thinking probably intentionally.
Yeah.
So you probably didn't know that for absolutely sure until now, but now you know.
Yeah.
I think I might actually do quickness of body for swiftness of mind. But actually,
So you'd be losing a point of dex and getting a point of int.
yeah.
Is that what you're doing? Quickness of body for swiftness of mind?
I want to think about it for a second. Hold on. Do some
Oh,
math.
I have an item that makes my int 19. So theoretically, if I took off this item and I just traded like all of my int away, it would still be 19.
Well, you can only do it once. You can only do
Yeah, but
each
the
once.
problem with that is that then you'd be dependent on that item forever because if you wanted to naturally get past 19, you now have a bigger hill to climb.
Yeah,
And
and you
not
can.
only that, you can only use each object or
Yeah.
each center
Yeah, I
once.
didn't realize that.
I don't really need int or dex. I kind of wish I could switch.
Well, actually, no, you're sacrificing strength and you're sacrificing dex. You're getting int and you're getting wisdom. There is no physical bonus stat exchanges going on here.
No, I mean, what?
Except for thought for life.
yeah,
Well,
the
yeah,
only things you're
you
getting
can
here
trade
are
intelligence for
Yeah,
constitution.
my point is I don't need dex or int, but that's really the only thing I can. I can only really the only thing I want to do is trade Like I'm willing to give up his deck, but I don't want int or deck, so it doesn't really help me.
Well, one thing to keep in mind is, of course, that this place will still be here in the future. It's on your map, so you know how to get here again.
Right. What is quickness of wit? What does that
Wisdom.
mean? Wisdom?
Yeah. So you can gain wisdom or intelligence, and you lose strength or dex, but you cannot gain strength or dex here.
Yeah, this is all pretty useless for me.
Well, shall we try openings of doors again?
Yeah, what do we do?
Is there anything else in here that we have not yet covered and documented and written down? I've got all the symbols and all that other stuff, and we've got all those
Well,
strange
somebody
waters.
should try the water. Pico or Devok should drink the water.
Please
You
do
could
that.
try the water.
You can try the water.
You're the one who's hurt. I have not lost a single point of health.
I mean, I'll drink the water, but
It doesn't work like that.
Pico.
I can drink it if everybody's leery.
I'm drinking it.
All right, Oreo, go ahead and roll a d6. Okay, with a 5, you gain 2d4 to your maximum hit points. So go ahead and roll 2d4.
To your
Hmm.
maximum?
Time to drink.
Dude, snake eyes. Let's go.
2D what?
2d4.
Gotta get snake eyes. I'm already calling.
Okay, so
Okay,
your
got it.
maximum and your current hit points both increase by 4.
Very good. That's actually really good.
Oh no.
All right, Devok with a 1. Roll 1d4.
Oh, he's losing
Oh
health. He's losing it.
no. Oh no.
So
Oh
your
no.
current hit points and your maximum hit points are decreased by 3.
Oh no.
Bro, my hit point 17 now. That's so bad. Can I do it again?
No, I doubt it. You try.
Can I do it again? I'm trying. I'm doing it.
The water is refreshing.
No!
All
I
right,
only got the worst possible roll.
all right, Raku, are you trying it as well?
Sure.
Okay, roll a d6.
Flash R 1D. Actually, back up.
If only
Yeah, try
Ire
using
could use it
buttons.
as oil or something.
Okay, with that roll 2d4 and add it to your current and maximum hit points. Okay, so
5.
that's 5. Galen, are you doing it?
I would hate myself if I didn't.
Okay, roll a d6. With the 1,
Blessed by
roll
the god. Blessed by the god.
1d4 and subtract it from your current and maximum.
Can you blessed by the
Oh,
gods this roll?
oh yeah. Can I can I favored by the gods that roll so that they don't
Wait,
condemn
don't
me?
you have 3 fate dice, dude, too.
Can I use that?
Oh,
I think
yeah,
if
fate
you can use
dice.
favored by the gods, I feel like that would be better anyway.
What's see, it's on, I think that's on a d20 roll. But I will say that I'll allow you to roll a second time if you use favored by the gods.
I will use favored by the gods.
But you have to take this roll, whatever it is.
Okay. There
Okay,
we go.
with the
Yeah.
6, roll 2d4 and add it to your maximum hit points and your current hit points.
Good
And
job.
Devok, if you want to use a fate point to re-roll, you can do so.
Yes.
Do it.
I did.
So mark off 1 fate point and go and roll your d6 again.
Does that
Yeah.
retcon
Oh my
the
god, he's on a
previous
roll.
removal of hit points?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah, so that
assuming,
removes
yeah.
your removal of hit points, and then you roll 2d4 to see how much you add.
Dang, you got 5. That's good money.
There we
That's really
go.
good.
That's
Well-
what I do.
Okay, did I miss anybody?
No.
Pico, were
I
you gonna
haven't
try
got it gone
this?
yet. Sure.
Oh,
All right, go ahead and roll a d6 then. All right, roll
hey,
2d4 and then add it to your current and maximum hit points.
This is some good luck. What are all these sixes?
It's making up for all the ones before.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
All right, so that's 4. So 4 to your current and 4 to your maximum.
I almost have over 20 hit points. Don't laugh at me.
How many do you
Uh,
have?
35.
35.
Any last anyone want to try their hand at these doors again, or should we just head out? I don't I'd call it a
yeah,
night.
We're
I think we
definitely
can be
gonna need
doing it.
plates.
No, wait a second here. The doors themselves, you said there were several hundred pounds
Several
that
hundred
weigh.
or several hundred or several thousand. It's hard to tell because they didn't move at all.
Okay, because I have a high strength and I have a crowbar and a good big
I
metal
don't
friend
think
who
you're
can help
gonna
me.
crowbar these things open, but we can try
Yeah,
if you want. Probably might break your crowbar, but
Okay, so is that what you're doing? You're using your massive strength in your crowbar to try to get these open?
Can you
Uh,
give me?
and my help.
but
Can I get one last shot at just seeing if there's anything hidden or anything that I might help with the triggering of this thing
yeah,
by chance?
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage. Okay. So you're looking around and you're looking at the doors, and you realize that there's a lot of magic in this area, and you're pretty sure now that you look at it closer that these doors are probably magical as well. So you suspect that whatever it takes to open these doors is involved with these pillars, and you doubt that forcing them open will work. And in fact, you think that it might set off ancient magic.
Mm-hmm. Let's
Ooh,
not do
okay,
that.
yeah,
no
that's
yeah.
not.
ancient
Now,
magic.
I'm getting the impression there's at least three other levels to this spire. Stepping back outside, yeah, didn't you mention one of these things went to the ground?
Um, no, the sorry, the bridges are off the ground.
Okay. Now, how are all these cliff faces the same height, or are they substantially different?
They're mostly the same. I mean, within a couple of feet of each other. So yeah,
Okay.
some of these, like I said, go to the middle of the cliff face rather than to the top.
Wait, the middle of the cliff
Yeah, so
face?
it's hard to tell from the image, but like this one here, this would actually be closer to the middle of the 200-foot cliff rather than the top of it. The one you cross is the only one that you can see that actually goes to the top of the cliff.
Oh, I can kind of see that because there's like rocks there. Not.
Yeah, there's not
Yeah.
enough space, so it's hard to show that in the image. But yeah, um, none of them go to the top of their respective cliff like this one does.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. How high up on the? Are we at the very top of the pyramid?
You're 20 foot down from the top.
So you can cut out a little bit.
You're 20 feet down from the top. So the one side of the bridge was 200 feet up. Where you are is about 190 feet up from the ground. Or sorry,
Mm-hmm.
180 feet up from the ground. And then above this room is the top of the apex, where the spire is coming out of.
Where where on the pyramid do these other entrances? Where do they come?
They seem to
Where do they?
be. This one down here seems to be halfway up. Up here, it seems to be maybe a quarter of the way up. Over here, it's maybe a third, and then slightly less than half foot up over here. So most of them are half foot up or lower.
Is there any way for
I've
us?
got a dumb idea.
Wait a second. There's one last thing inside the building before we run out. If Ori would help me, I can try and figure out one last way to open these doors.
Uh, is it magic influence? Because I just kind of figured out and you need something to do with magic.
I know, you just need to help me with what you've just learned about the door to give me advantage in my roll.
Sure.
So what are you trying to do, Ragu?
It is an artifice, so artificer's lore, try and figure out how it works exactly. How to open door.
Okay.
Oh, you
Yeah,
gotta
you're
put
looking
in-
at it and you're trying to compare it to what you know from home. Um, but unfortunately, from your point of view, you see the four discs or four depressions, and you can tell that at the bottom of the depressions is something metal, and it seems like it's probably a very specific signature of some sort, probably some sort of magic signature. So whatever those four things are, they seem to be required to open the door.
All right,
Shouldn't you
and
be
these
asking
four things
Galen
are
or Ire about that door?
yeah, these four things that are specifically required to open the door. Do we have any? Is it? Are they stones? Are they water? Are they different
They're
elements? Are they going to
probably
be
metal.
specific?
Probably
Okay.
circles.
They're probably yeah. They're probably a foot in diameter, an inch thick, circular, and they're probably made out of metal.
Okay.
Galen, Ire, do either of you recognize anything about that door?
Let me look.
Well, you guys can go ahead and roll your d8s.
I have yeah, I'll roll the D8. If that doesn't work, I have a uh thing in ceremony if it matches any religious ceremony that I know. But
Okay. So
other than that,
this doesn't ring any bells for you,
Hmm.
unfortunately,
I have no clue.
and neither for you, Galen. So
I have sorry, go ahead.
no, that's fine. Go ahead.
I have multiple questions. When we took this pathway down here, was the door open? Is this like an open door, or did we have to open this?
You had to open
I
it.
had to open it. Remember we put
Was
the
it?
hand on it.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, the hand. I remember now. Okay. Are is it possible for us to like scale the face of this if we climb up to the top and get to these other doorways, or is it gonna be kind of tricky to get down here if we're trying to
I
get?
have a plan for that.
Yeah, Dave's gonna
Okay.
have us do some stupid shit with the cliff faces and get over
Okay.
those things.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh no, the
sure.
cliff faces aren't even going to be involved.
That scares me so much more. That scares me
Oh no.
so much more.
Um,
So before you get to that, I guess Pico has a plan for that. Ire, do you have any other questions?
No, that's
And
that should
then,
answer my question.
um, sorry, so not Ragu, but you, Joel, Galen, did you have, you said something about ceremony.
Yeah, I have a specialization in religious ceremony. Maybe this matches any ceremony I've seen before. Probably not. I could check at least.
Yeah, you can roll, but you doubt it.
Yeah, I know if anything's happened here
Okay,
that I know about.
so you're almost certain that, at least when it involves this door, it doesn't match any ceremony. You do know, based on what Ire said earlier, that there is some sort of ceremony involved here. It does somehow involve the water and the supplication to the moon. So yeah, this is definitely a place of religious ceremony, and you're pretty sure that this is a temple of sorts, or at least part of it is. But unfortunately, none of that helps you with the door.
Yep.
Can I roll ancient lore to see if I know anything about the door and how to open it?
What kind of lore?
Ancient lore?
Sure. Okay. So yeah, you're thinking about the door, and you're looking at the state of the structure outside, and the amount of magic you've seen so far, and you think that whatever those four things are you need, you'll probably need those. I mean, you can't think of a way of bypassing that.
Now, part of the whole point in my plan is I suspect we might find the keys or whatever for this door elsewhere in the spire.
Well, seeing as there's 4 entrances and 4 plates that we need, that kind of adds up.
So, first question, who's afraid of spiders?
I don't hate. I mean, that's not a good question.
All right,
I
well,
am
who
not
in the
afraid
group
of
wants to be the
spiders.
first spider jockey?
Sure.
All right, so I'm going to. So, next question is which of these doorways should we try first?
Lowest. Try the
Now, there's
lowest
two
door first.
lowest,
Well,
northwest or northeast?
we can't.
Northwest is a little closer.
Let's do northwest then.
Okay. Do we want to work our way clockwise if this works out?
Sure.
Okay. Now, we want to move reasonably quickly because I'm only going to be able to do this for about an hour. So,
Um, shall I break out the rope and grappling hook, and we might be able to, start at one point, and then our ending point, we'd be able to climb the rope back up to the bridge here.
we don't have enough rope for that. It's
Well,
about 150 feet.
from the bottom here to the top here is how
About
long did you say?
150 feet.
I thought you only said 50 feet.
No, measuring it linearly horizontally, it's about 50 feet out from the edge to the center, but vertically, it's 200.
Oh, okay.
But we don't need the rope as long as we can get everything done in less than an hour.
Okay. Okay, sound
So
ready to be quick.
I'll ferry everybody back and forth.
So I'm assuming that you're going to do whatever you're going to do. You're not going to do it in the room, right?
As a spider, can
Yeah.
you not leave a web so just in case we'd still have a web to crawl back on?
Uh, Technically, the problem is that you would probably get stuck in the web.
There you go. That way you guys can actually see the top. So the distance from vertically, the distance from here to here is roughly 20 feet. Um, and then the distance from here to the ground vertically is 180 feet. The total height from the top to the ground is 200 feet.
Well, before you do any spider stuff, Dave, do we want to feel the side of the pyramid and see if it's a material that would even be able to be walked on?
It's extremely steep. If it's smooth, it's a slide. But yeah,
Uh,
if it's rough, we might be able to
Touching it,
climb.
does it feel unnaturally smooth?
It feels really smooth.
No.
And in fact, with any material you know of from home, you couldn't, from home you can't manufacture a material that could be this smooth after uh, decades or hundreds of years or longer without maintenance and all that. Or heck, you couldn't even make it even if you were maintaining it every day.
Although, okay, I spit on the side of the spire.
There we go. Spit on it.
What happened?
You're gonna spit onto the spire, or are you? Oh, on the surface. Okay. Yeah, you spit on it, and the spit dribbles down the side, and just kind of smoothly, washes down.
Does it wash down in a fashion similar to Teflon, where it beads and just goes, or
Yeah,
does it
exactly.
actually stick? Okay.
Except your characters obviously wouldn't know what Teflon is.
Well, yeah, no, I was just looking for. Yeah. So we all understood what it looked like. Okay.
Wait, so was acting like a non-stick surface?
Yeah.
Yes. I'd almost say hydrophobic, but we don't know what that word is.
And how thick is this bridge?
The bridge is probably about 5 feet thick.
Ugh.
Okay. Um, who's got some rope to volunteer?
I believe I do have some rope.
Yep.
All right. Wait a minute. I'm overthinking this. You said these cliffs were basically at the same height as the other
Yeah, you
ones,
can
right?
just
Yeah,
spider up and down the cliffs, right?
they're 200-foot
Yeah.
cliffs. If we can come up with four of us carrying rope, we have 200 feet of rope. So we can get to the top of the cliff here, back to this bridge, if we climb down.
Or we
Yeah,
don't
I'm
even have to
Get to the
climb
other.
down. We could just cross at these gap points and then climb down from the tops of the cliffs to the
I'm
walkways.
thinking about getting back to this area once we've found the keys. If we can find the
Oh,
keys.
oh
That's what
yeah.
my plan's been covering the whole time.
Yeah.
But anyway, the issue with the rope is, well,
You're still
as I
doing your
go,
echo thing. Did you not turn your other mic off?
I think he's
I
coming through Jeremy's mic.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
All right.
No, because now you're too quiet. Sorry.
all right. Um, anyway, I would be concerned about climbing checks. We've still got 100 feet to go up and down, as far as I understand in some of those cases. Um, and anyway, and again, I don't have to make a climbing check as a spider.
Oh, not only that, as long as you can guarantee us a way back up, I can get us all down very quickly and very safely.
Oh, Featherfall?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess the advantage to that is I don't even have to try the spider functionality first. We can just simply feather fall down to the first of the sky bridges.
The only thing we'll need to do is have a way back up.
Yeah, and I can just turn into the giant spider and then we climb up, just like my original plan was to walk down the side of the tower, which I suspect is still viable, but if we can do this on the cliff faces and not worry about whatever this smooth surface is, then all the better.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so my suggestion would be you just come around all the way to the north, and this is only a 5 foot gap
Yep.
here.
You can definitely jump it. The only thing I would say is there's a lot of rocks on the other side, so I'd probably have you make a athletics or acrobatics check with a DC of 8.
Or a tumbling for him, maybe?
Tumbling would work. Actually, make that a DC of 10.
So if we
All
do
right.
feather fall down, will we be able to do the same for the other ones, or what goes on there?
Well,
What do you mean?
those other ones look like they're relatively low off the ground. We might actually be able to use rope to get. We might actually be able to use get down and then use rope again to get up onto the next one over.
Okay. Sure.
It'd be worth exploring the ground anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, tie it around my waist and Googer,
Sorry, say that
preferably.
again.
I'd
Say that
like
again.
everybody to hold on to this rope tied around my waist so that if I miss the jump, I fall to my theory.
Okay, you're really breaking up, but I'm pretty sure you want me to hold on the rope. Okay, got it.
Well, again, the jump itself isn't that difficult. It's landing without gracefully on all the rocks and everything on the other side. That's the issue. But go ahead. Okay. All right, you start. You jump over. You immediately slip on the rocks, falling off, and then everybody together. Go ahead and make strength checks and add them together. Whoever has the rope.
Strength check or strength save?
Check. All
Oh,
right,
sorry, that should
you're
have been
able
normal.
to hold on to him and get him back up the cliff.
Pico, my friend, shall I throw you? Okay. Everybody's holding on to the rope. I'm gonna give him a physical boost to get across.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check. You need at least an 8. Okay, you throw him across. Pico, you're sailing across with the rope. You're falling towards some rocks. Can you avoid taking damage? You do. You tumble, and you manage to get to your feet somehow without cutting yourselves on a bunch of rocks.
You're completely out.
They're looking at them. These rocks don't seem like they'll hold a person, but likely these over here will.
Ragu, I yell. Ragu, hold on. I take a piton out of my fat. Or, sorry, Pico. La, la. I can't hear you, so I'm trying to figure out what you're saying through Jeremy's mic, and it's not working.
Oh, well, I was doing that because talking through mine was apparently making things worse.
Okay, well, you're fine now. Anyway, I can just toss you a piton.
It's okay, I have my grappling hook.
Oh, that works too. Because a piton you can just hammer into the ground if you don't have a rock.
Looks like it's just barely long enough. I'm going to go ahead and hook my grappling hook into these rocks I'm standing on here, then run and toss the far end of the rope out. Well, actually, they still far end of the rope. So,
All right. So where are you tossing the rope?
oh, they're
Well,
actually
we already
technically
have
holding the other end
Yeah.
already. So the end that was tied to me, I'm anchoring into these rocks with the grappling hook, and to augment it, I'm going to go ahead and hold on to the ball, kind of sit down and basically be ready to put all my weight into it.
Okay. So you got the rope tied or hooked into the rocks. You're holding it. Ragu and friends, you're currently holding on the rocks or to the rope. So what are you going to do?
And Ragu,
Um,
you had feather fall.
Yar,
I recommend you go last.
no problem.
Actually, yeah, let's save it. Yeah, you can save your feather fall unless somebody screws up and keeps falling.
Okay. So Ragu is standing there. What are the rest of you doing?
I guess we move forward, but what role are we making?
So it'll be athletics or acrobatics, but you have this rope now, which you can use to help you grab onto, so you will have advantage. So you need a DC 10 with advantage. Okay, you make it. So you wind up across. Are the rest of you gonna? Okay, so Devak goes and he makes it.
Question: Am I able to use athletics for this, or
Yes.
does it have to be?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
use athletics.
Ooh.
Okay, you fly across and you just land like over here in a clear spot. You just jump way past all the rocks.
Nice.
All right.
Actually, maybe
Could
we should
probably
clear
catch
some of these
somebody.
rocks for the rest of the jumpers.
Yeah, I'll use my professional mining skills to clear some of these rocks.
Okay, you guys clear the rocks. So you've sufficiently cleared the way after, I don't know, 15 minutes of work that Galen and Ragu, you don't have to roll, so you can just go. You can just jump.
I actually forgot I'm also a skilled climber as well.
Oh.
So you can move
Yeah.
yourself across as well, Galen.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Alright, so which one were we wanting? Seer or
Here.
Seer?
Yeah, this one. I don't think you can
Alright.
do
So
that.
Ire, go
How
ahead
far
and
Fire jumps off the cliff.
how far down is it?
No, I don't want to do that.
so this is about 100 feet down.
Oh.
Okay, well we have two people who have 50-foot ropes. We can just rope it down or we can burn our feather fall.
We can rope it down. Why not?
Alrighty.
Just
Use the
anchor
hidden.
the rope down somewhere
Yeah.
here and rappel down, right?
Okay. Yeah, that seems fine. If you go one at a time, you should be able
Yeah.
to make it down without any rolls. So go ahead and move yourselves.
Whee!
All right.
Now I can do it.
Ire, you come across a metal surface with no markings
Mhm.
on it.
It's not seven fingers this time. It's
There's
just another.
there's no hand print or anything like that.
Nothing at all. If I touch the door,
You
what does it
touch it,
feel like?
and it's cold to the touch, and perhaps even a little bit electrifying. Um,
Hmm.
but otherwise, nothing happens.
Maybe it's magical. What is it? What material does it feel like? It's stone or metal?
It's metal, although not like any metal you've seen at home. Well,
Huh.
actually, I guess you haven't been there that long. But it's the same metal door as the other, same type of metal as the other door, but this one just has no markings.
Hmm.
You can go ahead and give me a D8 roll, though.
Yeah, maybe I'll remember something. I do not.
No, it's not driving any bells.
What was it on there again?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's a blank door.
I'm gonna put my hand on it.
You do. It's slightly cold to the touch, and the hairs on your skin stand up, but otherwise nothing happens.
Magic door.
I'd like to closely investigate this door and check all the edges, the corners, to crack, like check for cracks or crevices or anything that might,
You
lead to
do
something else.
so, and you're actually pretty surprised at how tight fitting it seems to be. You think this might be airtight.
Guys, I think this is open from the other side. Or maybe it's just not a door.
It does seem to be some sort of doorway. The structuring around it is the same, so you suspect it is a door, but you don't see any way to open it.
Mm-hmm.
At least not from the outside.
Yeah.
Should we try the other door then?
Yeah, I suppose we should climb back up and try this side.
So the the bridge leads actually to a cave that goes underneath,
Ooh.
or you can climb up, of course.
Ooh,
Oh,
cave.
cave. Cave.
All right, so you go through the cave and you actually wind up on the other side.
Oh, wow. That's useful.
It's a nice cave.
And what does this door have
It's
to
the
offer?
same. It's a
It's the same.
it's a solid metal surface with no markings.
All
Oh,
right.
by the way, inside the cave, there was a small pool of water, and there
Hmm.
were a couple of rat-like creatures drinking from it.
Gross.
Ew.
This might be a long shot, but I'm gonna knock on the door.
You knock, and the door seems to be thick enough that you knock, but it doesn't really make any noise.
No,
Thick door.
you're a robot. You feel to just like knock really hard.
Yeah. Unfortunately not. Well, I mean, we have one more door to try.
Yeah, but that door's on a different level. I feel like
Is there another cave this time?
No, this cave just loops back around to the other one, plus the
Damn.
pool in the middle.
Well,
Can I make another dungeon over type of check to see if there's anything that we might have missed?
Sure. Okay, so yeah, you investigate the door, and you're pretty positive of two things. One, that it is actually a door, and two, that it's open from the other side.
mm,
it's looking bleak, guys.
yeah, we gotta try the other
I'm
one.
gonna climb back up.
To the right one.
How do we actually? Can we get there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just loop around. See?
Oh, neat. How far down is this one?
This one is about 50 feet down.
No,
That's
yeah,
not
we can
bad.
rope. We can rope it again. Yeah.
That's a hopping distance.
Mhm.
I don't know about that.
Go for it.
I don't think you
Right.
understand how high 50 feet is.
I'll
No,
give you a
no,
shove.
I
I'll give
was,
you.
I was joking. Yeah, let's rope on down.
Okay, yep. If you do that, you got this giant rock over here, so you don't need to make a roll. And Ire, you come across, in this case, part of the bridge is covered with vines, and these vines actually go all the way to the ground.
Wow.
They are potentially climbable, although you don't know how strong they are.
Well,
Anyway,
that's
up
how we
ahead
get
at the doorway, this door is just like the other two. It is a completely flat, unmarked surface.
Tragic. Is
No.
there any cave or anything under here?
There is. It goes underneath, and there's another pool of water with more rats, but otherwise doesn't go very far.
Observe
Gross.
the pool. Maybe there's something to it.
Sorry, say that again, Devok.
We should check out the pool because maybe there's something to it. Maybe.
Maybe. There's also one more door over here.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that all of them open from the center, and the way that we get to the center is by opening the top
Yeah,
door.
that is the most likely scenario here, if I'm being real. Well, let's say we call it a quits here then. How about that?
Maybe we should check out next, though, just in case.
The other door, it's kind of difficult to get to.
This one just seems a lot more
Uh,
Ragu, you
straight.
still have any extra rope?
Well, assuming we picked up the rope from the other side when we left, we still have 200 feet altogether, right? I think there's 4 people that have rope.
Well, I was gonna say either Ragu or Ire, can someone hold the rope? I'm gonna wrap it around my waist, and I'm gonna check out the strength of this vine stuff.
Sure.
Okay. So you're gonna try climbing down the vines?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You climb down, and surprisingly, they hold your weight, and you're actually able to make it all the way to the bottom.
Well, we can climb. We can just climb the vines then, and then wait, but we can't climb up on this side, can we?
Is this the only area that has vines attached to the spire? It is, right? Yeah.
Sorry, you guys trying to ask something?
Yeah. So since the vines on this bridge don't extend all the way up, you can't climb directly from the vines to the bridge.
Well, there's vines on the bridge that Oreo used to
I
climb
mean,
into the
on this one,
ground, and she can climb back up those same vines.
on the southern one.
What other one?
The
Down
one
here?
south. Yeah, no, there's no vines on
Oh no, yeah,
that
there's no
bridge.
vines on that bridge to the south.
Got it.
But that's fine. At least I know I've got that option. You guys go around and come up with another plan. I just want to quickly check these plants and see if there's like any kind of there's similar fruit or something that I've seen before, considering that we've seen rats here. I just kind of want to see what kind of vegetation's around here.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, go ahead and make a foraging or nature roll. So yeah, you're looking around, and it appears that these small bushes have berries, and you're not 100% sure, but you think it's likely that they're edible.
Similar to the ones I had before, or a different type.
They're definitely smaller. The ones before were basically tomato sized, whereas these are actual berries. Um, and they are a deep red color, but otherwise they just seem like normal berries.
I'm gonna start picking at least enough so that I can get enough for the whole team. But again, that's just my time spending doing that while they're doing something else. So I would expect at least one person to be up at the bridge, be there to help me out. But otherwise, you guys can be doing something else.
Okay, so yeah, you pick enough berries then, assuming you have somewhere to put them, that you can subsist off of those without consuming rations, and you can get enough for the rest of the party if you spend probably about half an hour picking berries and maybe going between this bush and maybe one to the north or to the south.
Sure, I'll do that. Again, 30 minutes off my end, but I don't want to cut into anybody else's
Yep,
investigating and stuff.
fair enough. So while Oreo is busy picking berries, what are the rest of you doing?
What's the round thing on top of the spire?
That is, um, so you have the pyramid-like shape, which is what you guys were inside of, and it comes up to basically the top of the cliffs. And then the metal spire is this round thing that goes up an additional 50 feet, and that's what you saw in the distance behind the hills. So you didn't see the pyramid, you saw the spire.
And that platform is 20 feet above that western bridge.
Yes. So yeah, if it wasn't for that spire, this place would have been basically invisible until you were on top of it.
Can Char go take a close circle of the spire to see if there's anything there?
Sure. All right, so he goes and flies around the spire, and it starts out fairly thick, as you see on the map, and then it basically tapers up to essentially a point at the top, and there's this ridge around the spire that spirals around like a screw, and otherwise it's just a flat gray metal.
Does it look like it is meant to be traversable by humans?
You could probably make your way around. Um, the edges look like they might be kind of sharp, so maybe you have to be careful. But it's big enough that you could potentially spiral around it to the top or near the top.
Okay, is there any symbols on it?
Char doesn't see any symbols.
Well, he didn't have to tell me what they are. He can just say, yes, there's markings.
No, he didn't see any
Or if it's
symbols.
flat. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, he didn't
yeah.
see it. Okay.
All right, I think I have an idea on how to get to that southern bridge, but we're going to have to loop back around to the western one first.
You guys make your way. Is there a way for us to get up to the top from, say, this side?
You don't see how you do
Or
that.
over here?
Wait a minute.
I didn't know if it'd be faster for Ori to, come around and then, we can drop a rope from this bridge and get her up.
She could just climb the vines to this one, unless you were talking about having her going up the other one, in which case, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you guys can
So
all just make it over to this side and then drop the rope, and I can just climb it from there.
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Okay.
How strong is your owl?
Uh, it's got a strength of 3.
Which means
I don't know. I'm sure it could carry 5 pounds. I don't know, Jeremy.
That's wow, that's technically 45 pounds, but I don't think it can fly with 45 pounds. So I'd maybe say 15 pounds.
And is that what you were thinking, Pico? Is the rope?
yep.
Okay.
You had silk rope too, right?
I do, and I've got a grappling hook, so he can fly over there and hook the grappling hook.
So that should work. So the idea would be to connect the 2 ropes together to be 100 feet. That's 10 pounds. The grappling hook's 4. That's 14. So all Char has to do is, let me just draw this. Basically, take the rope, loop around once, hook like that with the grappling hook, and then we've got a way to climb.
Okay.
Okay. How heavy are your rope?
The 100 feet plus the grappling hook is 14 pounds.
Okay. That does technically fit. So yeah, you can do that. All right. So you fly around. He manages to hook the rope, and where do you put the end? Like on the bridge?
Come this way.
Yeah,
Like it.
basically, yeah, just hanging right there so we can use it to climb up.
Okay.
Then
All
we're
right,
gonna
well,
grab
with
the
that
rope.
out of the way,
Okay. We'll
go ahead
grab
and
the rope.
start
We'll climb up
climbing.
here.
Okay, yeah, so once you start climbing the surface, it's pretty slippery, but even if you slip, you can just pull yourself up the rope. So, yep, you guys make it to the top.
And then we pull the rope
Ori, are you
over and
coming
drop
up?
it down here.
I don't know if it's past, if it's
She was
already the
gonna
third
come up
minute.
from this
Yeah.
bridge down here.
Well, she's
She's
I
gonna
been
mean,
step
spending a
over.
half an hour, so if you guys want to
yeah.
wait half an hour.
We'll get up here, and then we can use the rope to come down to this bridge on the bottom, and then we'll just like drop the rope from here, and she can climb up at this point. She's just gonna come around the side of the temple.
Wait, how's she going to climb up?
We're gonna drop the rope.
The
Wait,
rope. Well, we
didn't you
need.
We're
guys
gonna
literally
stand on the
climb from this
bridge.
side though? Didn't you guys literally just climb from this side?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
No, if you guys
Galen
literally
and
just climb from here, then why can't I just take the vines right back up and I just use the same rope you guys just used?
oh yeah, you
Yeah,
can
that's
get
what I
there
was
with the
thinking.
vines. I forgot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you guys are willing to wait the half an hour, then she can climb and do the same thing. So go ahead and put yourself up, Oreo. All right. So, yep, you've managed to reach the top. You're at about the same level as the cliffs around. So, what are you going to do?
Oh, go ahead and reorient the rope so it's going directly down to the southern bridge and then
We
climb
lost
down.
Galen and I.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was one of
Common.
you guys.
All right. You
Viewing.
make your way down, Pico, and you see that the southern door is to a flat, featureless surface.
Fun.
Is there a cave over here?
There is, and if you follow it underneath, there is a series of small tunnels. There's a main tunnel, and then it branches off to a series of small tunnels, and you can see little creatures seem to live in those tunnels. They're about a foot wide. Uh, various different widths, but mostly around a foot wide.
Any other ideas?
Well, maybe we could move on to the cave and maybe we'll find something we can use here later.
If there's more technology, we might find the keys to open up the thing.
Actually, didn't you comment that the spire looked climbable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, actually, just char see anything at the top.
Yeah.
It comes comes very near to a point at the top, and it just seems to be a metal spire.
You know what? I'm gonna go all Assassin's Creed on this. I'm gonna go ahead and climb up as high as I can and survey the area.
All right, you do so, and you look around the area. You see some rather large rocky hills nearby, and actually, you're high enough up that you could probably see what looks like some caves up to the north, but probably um, 10 to 15 miles.
All right. Well, I think I see our caves.
And actually, now that you've spotted it, I'm just going to go ahead and reveal it on the map. So you guys will see it once you get close enough. Here we go. Okay. And as you look down, looking for a convenient pile of hay to jump into, you fail to spot it.
Hmm.
Well, I'll go ahead and climb down the hard way.
Fair enough.
But what about the eagle noise?
I'll do that when I'm level 9,
Okay, fair enough.
because then it'll be authentic.
Fair.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Oreo, when you were down on the ground, did you spot anything else worth exploring?
Well,
Yeah, you
I had time.
saw a bunch of different kinds of plants. You saw the occasional rat-like animal, some flowers, um, but you didn't really spot anything that catches your eye. I mean, there's some stuff like some caves and some areas that go off the map, but it looked very similar to what you see on the map.
Yep.
And then after a fairly short distance off the map, you notice that the terrain returns back to the arid and rocky terrain that you've been seeing all along. So, for whatever reason, this lush plant life seems to be centered on this structure.
All right. Well, should we head back over to the cart and start setting up camp?
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Uh-huh.
Here we go. All right, you find another campsite. It looks very similar to the last one, but with these hills and sharp cliff faces, things start running together a bit.
Wouldn't it make more
Wait,
sense
no,
for
I
us just to? Oh, go ahead.
thought we were going to hang out right by that pool of water.
Oh, is that what you're gonna do? No problem.
Yeah.
I wouldn't it make more sense for us to go ahead and camp inside the shelter? You know, we can like just run out for the water. It's like just a bridge.
Yeah, well, how confident do you feel about getting the mule across?
It's a 5 foot wide bridge. We can send the mule across, and I'll drag the cart that distance if that's what it takes.
One thing to keep in mind is that there is a grade to the bridge. Over the span of the bridge, it drops 20 feet.
Well, we can leave the mule like posted right here, and then I can just get the cart into here if that's what we're worried about.
I'm more
If we
worried
can't
about
get
the
the
mule. The cart won't die.
Okay. Well, it's just a 20 feet downgrade. I mean, the mule can go over things that are more than just level. It is still 5 feet wide and a solid bridge.
Okay. So somebody going to take the mule across?
Sure.
All right. So yeah, you're going to take the mule across. It seems to be hesitant for some reason. So go ahead and give me an animal handling check.
Good luck to me. Anybody else helping? No.
I'll try.
All right. Yeah. If Devok is helping, then you can re-roll Ragu. All right. So with Devok's help, you are able to get the animal across the bridge and into that room.
Okay. And it's just a little two-wheel cart, so I can just pull that into the room too here if
Yep.
we need.
Alrighty, so I'm going to assume you make your way all around and all that. We're not going to deal with all that. All right, so yep, you make your way into the room. It's getting dark outside. Is there anything you're doing before you go to sleep?
Might want to ferry the supplies in just in case.
Yeah, that's what I said. I dragged the cart across once we got the mule in.
Oh, I figured we could leave the cart on the other end.
Oh, well, we can do that too if you want. I figured that was just an easy way to get the supplies here. And if we're taking our short rest, aside from basically detailing everything I can about this structure, because that's my job, I'm going to go ahead and burn my second wind. And I'll have
Okay.
a fresh one for tomorrow.
Yeah, and don't forget to mark anything you want to mention about this place in the future, and what do you guys want to call it?
The pyramid structure or the temple structure? I don't know. We don't have
The
anything
Great
right
Pyramid.
now.
That's an
Yeah.
original one.
That's original. Yeah.
I thought of it myself.
Wouldn't the spiral spire make a little more sense since or the helical spire? I like helical spire since that's the thing that you see first.
I like the Great
Pyramid
Pyramid.
is just the base.
That's fair, I guess. I guess.
I mean, who goes to visit the pedestal of liberty?
We can call it
And
the.
the pedestal is huge.
Speaking of pedestals, we could call it the four pedestals for
We
the.
could call it the triangle with
Constantine.
a really long neck.
Yeah, that's the right.
The five
The
bridges.
spire pyramid. The spire
I
temple.
A five spiraled pyramid with four pedestals.
Well, it just has one spiral on top, so I figured just the spiral temple or the spiral.
All right, how about we just call it the spire until we gain access to the rooms and have a better
Yeah,
idea
we
of
can
what
always
exactly it
rename
is.
it. We can always
Sure,
rename
that's
it
good.
later.
So what are you calling it then?
Just the spire.
Just Spire for now, yeah. Speaking of which, Oreo, did you name those cat things yet?
Oh, these things? And I take out the what I had left from the last session. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Uh, these.
Oh God.
Which the first word is just said Sochi.
Zochi?
Okay.
Zochi
So
Dakiman.
chill,
Yeah.
So
because there's an L at the end, right? Yeah.
And she'll go into a little bit of explaining as to the origin of the first name in terms of the fact that she remembers at a very young age someone telling her about these weird ass names that she couldn't remember like how they were associated, but apparently her mother knew these names, and so it was just one of those things that just came up. And so between that and then kind of tasting the berry with ragu, this is the name that came out of it.
So are these the fruits?
The first fruit
Yeah.
that we found, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because I didn't think you wanted to drink a Cthulhu Panther.
So
So
how do you pronounce that?
yeah, so exactly like what Ragu just spelled out. I mean, I'm gonna be saying it as Sochi, but like technically that's the full the way you say it is Xochitl.
Okay.
So Xochitl
So
daiquiri.
yeah, it's just pronounced like so chill, so chill daiquiri.
Okay. So those are the fruits.
Yep, at least the first one.
And did you
Now
guys
that was
try
kind of
eating the berries?
Can I botany the berries just to make sure, or is
Yep.
that not necessary?
Yep.
Did she do good enough?
No, you can try.
Alrighty. Good luck to me.
You're pretty sure they're not poisonous. Um,
Okay.
you don't know how good they taste, but you're pretty sure they're not poisonous.
wait, the new ones because I haven't distributed those yet, but I guess
Oh, yeah, that's what I was
Well,
asking
if
about.
yeah, if you gave me one of the new ones just to look at, I could probably botany if it was poisonous or not.
gotcha.
That was all
Okay,
I was
yeah.
doing.
Gotcha. I thought you were doing it for the old, and I was like, didn't you eat that? But yeah, okay. Yeah. For this one, that makes sense. Got it. Yeah, if
Okay.
it's not poisonous, then I'm gonna have my portion. I give everyone their portion for the day, so everybody doesn't have to spend their.
Okay. Everybody who is eating one, go ahead and make a Constitution save. This isn't for poison. This is for something else.
It's allergies.
Charlotte. Why not?
Ragu, you go to eat one of these berries, and it is so bitter. Um, it's you just can't stand it, and you spit it out.
Okay.
Iyer
Devon really
can't eat
doesn't
it,
like the
so
berry.
his roll
Wow.
doesn't count. Galen, it's fine. You know, you don't have a problem with it.
It's a good berry.
Oreo, it's okay. I mean, it's extremely bitter, but you found these things. They're safe, and you can save rations, so you're going to eat them. And
Yeah.
Devok, he bites into one, and you notice he starts just barfing.
It
Devok
must
hates
be a
these
very
things.
it must be an acquired taste.
Probably.
I Devok, are you gonna finish your berries?
Uh, no. You can have one.
You're pretty sure at
Oh,
this point in time,
sweet.
this is like um, Dave eating onions. It's just not a thing for Devok.
It's not happening. I'm sorry. You can have them. I want them.
Yum.
Never again.
I'll have more delectable berry.
And Pico, are you gonna try?
Nope.
Okay. Anyway, whoever successfully consumed the berries, you don't have to use rations. You still have to use water, but no rations.
Sweet.
All right. Anything else during the night, or before you go to sleep? I'm going to take that as a no, so we'll advance to the next day, and I'll take you back to the map.
Um, Wait a second. In the morning, was Pico going to do the water purification, or was that not necessary, or what we're doing
Oh,
there?
okay. Fair enough.
Well, actually, as far as I understand, the water in here seemed to be confirmed purified, and everybody drank it already, so we could just hop off from here.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, that's true. So
Yep.
yeah, we can refill our water from here.
Fair enough. Yeah, the effects will be gone, but it'll still be water. So everybody
Okay.
go ahead and fill up your water skins and the water in the wagon if that's what you're going to do.
Okay.
Wait, how did Iyer eat a?
He
You know,
did. He
we ignored
rolled,
his.
but
It was
but it didn't. It was for nothing. Okay, so I'm going to put you back on the map. It is the morning of the 14th. It is another hot and clear day here. So what are you going to do?
Charge towards the cave.
Your
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So now you know where it is, and you move through some more hills, but don't run into anything of note. So go ahead and move yourself all the way up to the cave, and I will move you over to the map. All right. So you come up to where you know the caves to be, and you can see to the northeast. You can see the entrance. You can also see some trash left over from the previous expedition. And on your way here, you were able to see other evidence that humans and other peoples from your world were staying here at one point. Um, and you see that there's loss of rocks um, and that kind of thing. You can see this large rock formation, and and then there's an opening leading inside.
Yeah, I'd like to see if there's anything salvageable in this pile of stuff here.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, you don't find anything salvageable, just trash.
It's trash, a bone sticking out there, you know.
Probably from
Normal
one of
stuff.
their meals.
Yep. Uh-huh.
I'm glad
Feels,
we
yeah.
don't leave behind that much trash.
I see a tiny little something shiny down there in the cave.
You
I
do
see
see
it.
something. It's hard to make out from all the way over here, but you do see something that seems to be glowing back there. A glowing
Oh,
blue
look,
object.
I see a satanic relic.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hey, we should be
And
quiet.
as Devok and Ragu and Ire, go ahead and give me stealth checks. So that's a 14 so far.
Oh my, what is
4.
happening?
Can I use my tailing here?
Can you stop that?
Sure.
I'm
Use a different,
trying.
use a different die or
What's
something.
their
'Cause
passive? Okay.
Whoa, my, what is, okay, I
All
refuse
right.
to believe
So I'm going
energy.
to have you guys roll initiative. The creatures immediately start moving your direction once you enter the caves.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, let's back up, back up. Let's back up, back up.
What do they look like?
They're those worm dog monster.
Oh
They
god,
look a
Cthulhu
lot
Cthulhu
like
cat
cat.
things.
those panthers. Actually, let me do this. This is what they look
Yep,
like.
those things. The Cthulhu cats or whatever you guys are calling them.
All right,
With
so
the worms
this
in
is
them.
now round 1. So Oreo, you you see Ragu and Devok and Ire entering the cave, and then all of a sudden, one of them speaks up. Ire, what is it you said?
I don't. Did I see something?
Okay, Devok or Ragu, one of you said something when you saw the creatures.
Like I said, hey, maybe we should be quiet.
Okay. Anyway, you hear growling from inside the cave. So what do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna back
I
up.
Yep,
I'm
I
gonna
think we need
go.
to back up.
I'm gonna back up to here, take out my bow, and ready it with the trigger. That as soon as I see anything not friendly, shoot at it.
Okay. All right. Ragu. Same thing. What are you gonna do?
Backing out here. And I'm letting everybody know as we're getting out is like we're gonna back up. We're gonna have to do them from distance because they infect people.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5,
And Devok.
6. I think I can get there.
And we'll move.
How tall are these rock structures?
They're probably about 6 feet.
6
Yeah.
feet?
And
All
then
right.
I'm going to use corruption in front of us.
Okay. And Ire, what are you going to do?
Fire.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, I'll back up right.
We're
Get
we're,
out of
we're
the
getting
Yeah,
away
yeah,
from the
yeah. We
cave
can do a
face.
little
Yeah.
choke point here. Yeah, I'll stay
Wait,
right.
actually, shouldn't Ire block the path?
I was
Yeah.
thinking I could stay right here. Yeah,
If you
Yeah.
want to
If,
boot me out of the spot too, that works well.
I think
yeah,
you're fine.
Galen, you might want to back up a bit more than where you are too,
I
if you
mean,
have
I
movement.
want to. It hasn't been my turn.
All right.
We skipped a day.
Are we thinking they're going to come at us?
Do you think so? You guys went in and they growled at you and started moving your direction, which is why I had you roll initiative.
I could use bless here. I don't know if we'll need it though. I don't know how many of them there are.
Okay. Are you going to use it?
I'll wait.
Okay.
In our research of the parasites last time, we believe that the parasites infect actual carbon-based life forms, not necessarily.
Yeah, you're pretty sure they're not going to have any effect on Ire.
Okay.
Oh,
All
he
right.
could be carbon steel, though.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Okay. All right, Pico, you see two of the creatures in the cave. They didn't have enough movement to attack, but they have run up to Ire with the intent to attack, obviously. So what are you going to do?
I'm going to squeeze past. I'm going to go ahead and attack with both claws.
Okay, and that, unfortunately, that first one is not a hit, and the second one is not a hit.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and back out.
All right, Galen, you see that Pico's attacks were ineffectual, so what are you going to do?
Um, hmm. I'm gonna go ahead and just back up here, I think. Try to shoot past Ire with some fire.
Okay.
Okay.
You shoot and you hit the cave wall instead.
Unfortunate.
I think you guys have had enough attacks against these things to know their AC is 15.
Yeah.
I'll stay here. It's fine.
So, creature 2 here is, because you haven't, I don't think you guys have named these things properly yet, is going to attempt to get past Ire. So, Ire, what is your, I think it's your dex. What's your, or sorry, your athletics.
5.
Okay, so that would give him basically a DC of 15. And so he is going to attempt to do so. And he fails to get past you. You're blocking his path, assuming that's what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then he retreats. So go ahead and take your attack of opportunity if you want.
Absolutely. Oh, no.
He manages to dodge your counterattack and backs up. Okay. Char, I'm going to delete. All right, so at the beginning of round 2.
Before the end of the round, is there any way that I could have shot ahead of Ire? Because I can see creature 1, and I was holding my action.
I think that's reasonable. Go ahead.
Would I be able to do the same since I came back to the same position there?
Okay, fair enough. All right, so you hit Oreo so for a good solid 10 points of damage, which is about a third of its health. And then go ahead, Regu. Unfortunately, that did not hit, hitting the cave instead. All right, so Oreo, now it is your turn proper. So what are you going to do?
Gonna shoot again.
Okay. Another hit.
And by the way, I've been trying to hit the one that's in melee of ire, so I think that was creature one, not creature whichever one you subtracted the
No, that's
damage.
right. See.
Okay, okay, got it, Okay.
All right.
So
Anyway, you hit.
that
And then your stealth. All right, so 15 points. And he is nearly dead. Still alive, but nearly dead.
and I will just ready another arrow and that's it.
Okay. All right, Ragu, you shot creature one as it was coming out. You didn't hit. What are you going to do now?
Thought everybody was going to back up and do a more ranged attack, but since Ire's up there, I'm going to have to go back him up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's me here. On Char comes up here. Now I don't actually have enough movement, so I don't know if I can do this or not. I have used 5. My 6th would be to move here in Ire's spot, swing and attack, but I need to be able to step back. Can I do that?
I don't think so. I think this is just a case of you not having enough movement to attack. However, you did have a ranged weapon in your hand, which you're still far enough away to use.
Okay.
Or I mean, sorry, you used a spell, but you can use that. All right, so yeah, unfortunately, the spell shoots past Ire, but hits the wall instead of the creatures.
Okay, and that'll be.
That's it, right?
Actually, how tall is the doorway that Ire's standing in?
Probably about I don't know 7 feet.
Okay, and Ire, how tall are you?
Let me check. 6'2".
Is that enough space for Char to fly above his head?
Yeah.
All right. Char's going to fly in, give you the help action, and circle back out.
Fair enough. All right, Ire. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped Devok. Devok, what are you gonna do? The creature in front is almost dead.
I'll do this. I'm gonna use Bone Storm, I think.
15-foot cone
I
in
don't know
front
why.
of you. Okay, so that would
I don't
hit.
know.
You don't know what?
I don't know
Oh,
why I can't like pull it, but whatever.
It's probably because it's an AOE. They have to.
Oh,
The enemies make dex saving throws.
You're right.
Yep. So
And-
what is your spell save?
It is 14.
All right, and go ahead and roll 5d4 for your damage.
Not bad.
Okay.
Wow.
It looks like 2 of them made it, 1 of them failed, and the one that failed in the back took the damage.
Wasn't a very good use of a first level slot, but whatever.
Well, it had a chance. It's just that's the way it went.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm surprised it doesn't have a half damage thing like Burning Hands does.
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't see one. All right, Ire. So the creature in front of you is almost dead. The one behind him has been damaged. What are you gonna do?
I'll beat back creature 3 in front of me. Hopefully. Oh, never mind.
Oh, you get to roll with advantage because Char helped.
Oh, true. Forgot about that. And
Well, unfortunately, you were trying to hit creature 3 way back here over creature 1, and yeah, he swung over his head.
Well, yeah.
All right, creature 1 though isn't gonna make that same mistake. Hopefully for him. And he is going to take his 3 attacks, so 2 tentacles and a bite. None of which hit. All right, creature 3 is going to attempt to get past you. So again, that'll be a DC 15, which it fails, and then it retreats. So go ahead and take your reaction if you still have it. All right, and you miss on the way out. All right, Pico, you can see that there are 3 creatures in the tunnel. One of them is almost dead. The one behind him has been hurt, roughly half health. What are you going to do?
Let's see. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and work my. Wait, that creature 1's still
It
alive?
is.
Just barely.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm gonna try and hit that thing with my offhand attack.
Okay. You fail.
And fine, I will go ahead and try and hit it with my main attack.
And unfortunately, it dodged. All right. Galen, you see 3 creatures in the tunnel. What are you going to do?
Ire, how's your health?
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay, then I'll just once again I'll try and shoot the nearest creature.
Okay.
Oh God.
I'm sorry about the rolls for everybody,
We are
but you definitely
we
did
are
not hit
all
them.
rolling one.
If
that
they
the end of
all
your
get
turn?
grouped up, yeah, before it ends though, if they all get grouped up and we really can't take this, I just wanted to remind everyone that I have the fireball one.
Oh
So
yeah,
if
but that might destroy stuff in there. But yeah, that's a
yeah,
good
I
last
want to be
resort.
careful, but like last
Yeah.
resort we have that.
Okay.
Okay. Creature 2 steps up to attack Ire. It's 3 attacks, 2 of which hit. Is that correct, Ire?
So you know, they're all
That's
standing at corruption.
My AC is
2
2-0.
corruption. Fair enough. And then it moves back. Ire, you already took your reaction, though.
Yep.
All right. Creature 4 moves all the way up to attack Ire.
That one hit.
Even with the corruption, the 22 hits because it's a crit. And he manages to chew on you for 6 points of damage. Oh, sorry, that's a tentacle. Sorry, to slap you for 6 points of damage. And then it retreats. And then creature 5 runs up to attack. And definitely fails to hit. And it retreats. And then creature 6 rushes to attack.
A lot of them.
And a 21 becomes a 19, which I believe still hits. So you
Nope,
take.
it does not.
Oh, your AC is 20?
2-0, correct.
Okay. So he misses and then retreats. So round 3. Oreo, you can see they're all stacked up in the passageway behind Ire, who's somehow holding them all back. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I'll just get into a better view and shoot the one that's in front of Ire.
Okay. It hits the cave.
Yep, and that's my turn.
All right, Ragu. You can see that they're all stacked up behind Ire. What are you going to do?
Char's gonna go ahead and fly in and give me assistance, and then
Okay.
swoop back out. And then I'm gonna step forward and swing away with my one hand. I can't tell. Is that creature
It's creature 1.
1?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Scroll up. Okay, there we go.
Yep,
Now
you should
scroll
have
back down.
advantage.
There we
And
go.
it's a critical hit. And creature 1 dies. So what else are you going to do?
Hey. With my offhand, I'm making an improvised attack, I think. I would like to throw a flask of oil onto the creatures. Can I spread it to more than one, or is it just one creature that gets hit? I'm gonna cover them in oil. Throw all the oil in.
See it. You're going to use the whole flask of oil?
Yep, I've got 3 of them in my left hip pouch.
I'll say that you can probably hit all 3, assuming you can hit the hex you want. If you hit a nearby hex, then it'll do less. So, yep, go ahead and make a. I guess this would be a dex. So make a dex save or a dex roll, dex check.
A dex roll?
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't be strength being a fighter.
Um. Yeah, but you're not trying to punch somebody. You're trying to aim for a target. So I think that's dex.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, that should be
But
normal.
it is a DC 10 to hit a hex, to hit an area like that. So you
Okay.
do successfully cover them all in oil.
Okay. And now I'm going to step back. As I step back, I'm going to go ahead and use my free action. Galen, light him up.
All right. You say so.
So currently we're on Devok. Devok, what are you going to do? They're currently all covered in oil.
Hit one.
Unless you got fire as well, Dweck.
No. And I get
Well,
another
I
one.
do.
I'm gonna
Okay.
move back.
Are you going to move? All right. And Ire, they're all covered in oil. What are you going to do?
Uh-huh. Um, do I want I think I'm just gonna hold my action, and if one of them steps up, then I want to take my action to hit them. I don't want to step forward here.
Fair enough. So creature 3 does exactly that. So go ahead.
It doesn't matter anyway.
All right. And then it is going to attack you. Apparently they don't know what oil means. And it fails to get through your armor. Pico. They're covered in oil. One of them standing right in front of Ire. What are you going to do?
Produce flame. Right into the middle of them. Or, well, the middle of the oil.
Fair enough. Go ahead and make a roll, and you need to get at least a 10 to get because this is just an area hitting an area.
Where is it?
Okay, good enough. Go ahead and roll damage.
What is the damage for?
It'd be your normal produce flame, but then these guys would catch on fire.
Wait, what? I thought the fire oil was causing the damage.
No, your produce flame can still hit a creature. You can still do normal damage to it.
No, all the produce flame is doing is basically allowing you to light the flame and light them all up on fire.
Yeah.
So I don't get why I have to roll for damage then.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you
think
didn't
about
hit.
it, if
Oh,
you're casting-
yeah. 14. What?
If you're
He's
cast-
right, because 14 wasn't good enough to hit one of the creatures, so he just set them on fire. I see.
Okay, in that
if
case-
if he'd have rolled a 15, then he would have set them on fire and hit one of the creatures.
Okay, yeah.
So
Okay,
they are on fire, and on their turn, they'll take fire damage.
Okay.
Is that the end of your turn,
And
Pico?
the description simply says 5 fire damage. There's not even a roll. I don't know.
Okay.
Is it like 1d10 or just
If it's
leave it
5,
at
then we'll do 5. That's fine.
Okay. I didn't know. That's why I was curious, because normally there's a dice roll, but this time it just says directly 5.
Okay. Fair enough. Pico, is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
So let me go ahead
If
and
let
mark
the oil
these
burns for
guys.
2 rounds.
Fair enough. Well, good idea. And thank you for looking it up so we know how it works. And
How much area is the oil covering?
it's basically
It's
covering
covering
all the creatures right now. Technically, this guy's out of range, but he ran out of the oil, so I'm just going to say it follows him, so it's not a problem.
Okay.
All right, Galen. All the creatures are currently on fire. What are you going to do?
All right. So you just want me to do another firebolt then, anyways, Ragu?
Might as well keep
Yeah,
hitting them,
sure.
doing damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep on doing
I
damage.
mean,
I
use
mean,
whatever you prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to touch them if they're on fire. So I'll shoot another fire bolt at the one in the front.
Okay,
Alrighty.
that's a hit.
Bang.
All right, so you hit them for another 2 points of damage. Plus, they're going to take the fire damage on their turn, which is now for one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 5. And so he is currently on fire. So he.
Now, actually, due to the way it's described with the ranged attack, on a, if the target takes any fire damage for the oil dries, so I guess you could argue that my produce flame was technically an AoE in that regard. So they should have taken some damage then, and then on their turn they would take more damage.
Okay, so your argument is they should have taken another 5 points of damage from being on fire from having more fire?
Yeah, basically the 5 points from when the fireball first ignited, because that would approximate the hitting enemy with a fire attack on a hit. If the target's covered with that causes the damage, then they take an additional 5.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware they actually took damage whenever that happened. I thought they would just take damage on their turn, but let me look it up. 2 rounds. On hit, they're covered in oil. If they take any fire damage before it dries, the target takes an additional 5 fire damage from the oil. Okay, that's okay. So they don't actually catch on fire. They
but the oil burns for 2 rounds, so for 2 rounds they'll take 5 points.
No, they do. The idea is if you once they're doused in oil, if they get hit with a fire attack, they catch fire, which causes the fire damage. Then that burns for 2 rounds, dealing 5 damage to any creature that enters the area or ends its turn in the area.
Yeah. Okay. So I see. Fair enough. So I will subtract 2 attacks worth. And then I subtracted the additional 5 because this guy is still in the area. Although technically it's when he ends the turn, but he's just going to go forward and attack and be in that area anyway, so we'll leave it as is. And because he's on fire, he is just having no luck. And it seems to be rather confused as to why it's on fire. All right, so creature 4, he is just going to run, which I believe puts him out of the area. Okay, creature 5 is going to attempt to get past Ire and probably fail. Oh yeah, he failed. And then he backs up, takes another 5 points. And creature 6 is going to run up, and he's panicking because he's on fire. He's going to attempt to get past Ire. He succeeds. He finally got past Ire. He goes under his legs, and then he is going to move past Pico. Pico, if you want to take your reaction, you can take an opportunity attack.
Did he wind up
Absolutely.
here?
And actually, Ragu, you can also take an opportunity attack if you want
That's
to take
why
a
I was
reaction.
asking.
Okay, that's a hit. All right, so 4 points of damage. And
That's-
Ragu, he was running low to the ground, and you just couldn't hit him. All right, round 4. Oreo, most of the creatures are now on fire. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna hit the one in front of Ire again.
Okay.
There's this one that got.
Yep, you finally hit him. And you managed to take him out.
Okay. And that's my turn.
Fair enough. All right, Ragu, you saw one of the creatures fleeing in panic. He is actually out of the area, so I think I can turn off the fire now. The other 2 inside are still on fire. What are you going to do? Ragu.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just very quickly say, are you good here?
Yes.
All right, so 1, 2, 3. Char swoops down, gives me advantage, and then gets over to this rock, and
Okay.
I swing away.
Go for it. That's a hit. All right, so you slash him for another 5 points of damage. Definitely hurt him,
And
but he's still in a panic. You get a critic. No, that's a 22 because the
yeah,
that only
yeah,
affects
it
the
should have
next
been
attack.
normal.
So it's a normal
Yes,
hit,
yes.
but it is a hit. All right.
6,
Yeah,
not 6 plus 1.
that's
Yeah,
right.
6.
So you punch him for another 6. He's really feeling it now, down to 1/6 of his health. Is that the end of your turn?
That is, I'm not going to back up because he'll get an attack of opportunity.
Fair enough. All right, Devok, you can see one of the creatures trying to run away, 2 inside the cave that are on fire. What are you going to do?
I move and then I shoot creature 5.
All right, go for it. That's
And
a hit.
actually hit.
All right, you hit him for a solid 5 points. He's still alive. He's still on fire, but he's down to 1/3 of his health.
My turn.
All right, Ire. The creatures inside are on fire, and they're starting to panic. What are you going to do?
The hex itself isn't on fire, right? So I can step forward without getting burned.
I believe it is on fire now. It's on
The
fire
hex is
until the
on
next turn.
How much damage will I take if I step into the
5
hex?
points.
Yeah, I'll just hold my action until wait for one of them to walk into this hex.
Fair enough. All right, Pico. Creature 6 is trying to run away, and creature 2 and 5 are on fire, on the verge of panic. What are you going to do?
I move over here, and I'm going to hacking at this guy.
Okay, you have advantage. In fact, I'll do that.
All right. Guess we'll start with. Actually, I'll try the weak one first.
That's a hit.
Wow.
You stab him for 1 point, and then a critical hit, and he's dead. You slice him in half, he just falls apart. Is that the end of your turn?
Let me move here for better visibility. Now it's the end of my turn.
All right, Galen. There are 2 creatures that you see that are on fire. 1 creature that you know ran deeper into the cave. What are you going to do?
I'll shoot the one on the. Well, actually, I'm just gonna move my character just to see their health bars. I'm not actually moving.
Okay.
Looks like the one on the left is weaker, so I'll go ahead and shoot the one on the left.
Well, keep in mind. Never mind.
Go ahead.
No, what's up? What's up?
Well, I was gonna say he will take the 5 damage in his turn, but I don't know if that's enough to kill him or not. So
You doubt it.
Hold on.
yeah, well, you can just hit him.
Yeah, I'll hit him and ensure it.
Okay.
Nope.
Unfortunately, you did not hit. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Creature 2 is panicking. And is he going to run out of the cave? Or is he going to run toward past Ire? He's going to try to go past Ire because he's panicking and he's not thinking straight. And
Am
he
I able to take
fails.
my? Can I
Still
take
not
my
the end of
held
the
action
turn.
as well?
So, but you can't take your held action. That's correct. So go ahead. Unfortunately, it's panicking and it's really hard to hit. So you miss. All right, creature 4. Okay. And creature 5. He is going to run up, and he's attempting to get past you. He fails, and then he runs away. Unfortunately, you don't have any reactions left, and it is now.
No, I should have a reaction left.
I
He
think
had a held action.
he spent his held action, and his reaction he'd already. I think he'd attacked. Did not attack of
Not
opportunity.
since.
Not since round 4.
Wait, and that. No,
Yeah,
I don't think not since my last turn. No.
Okay, go ahead and take it then. Okay, that's a hit. 9 points, which is just shy of taking him out. All right, round 5. Oreo, 2 of the creatures in the cave are on fire. Actually, I think it goes out this turn, so they're no longer on fire, but they are still panicking. And
Yeah, I'll go out.
yeah, go ahead.
I'll attack the one in front of Ire again.
Okay, that hits. All right, a solid 8 points, half of his remaining health. Is that the end of your turn?
Uh,
The
yeah,
other 9.
yeah, the other 9, because it's front of
Oh,
Ire.
on that case, he's dead. Okay,
And
is that the end of your turn?
I'm just gonna move over. Hold on. Here, and that's it.
Fair enough. Ragu, the creature inside the cave is no longer on fire, but he's so close to death. So what are you going to do?
Okay. I'm gonna.
The fire's out, so you can go in safely.
Yep. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and where did Char go? Hold on. It'd be helpful if I could see Char, but I know I'm not looking through his eyes. Char
On the
swoops
rock
in.
to the left a ways.
Yeah. Oh no! When I stepped in the cave, all of that went black.
Oh,
So I had to move back out in order to see him. Char swoops in and then swoops back out to this pile of rocks,
Okay.
giving me help action, and then I run up and swing away.
Okay. That's a hit, and you kill him. You do know that one of them ran deeper into the cave, so are you going to do anything else in your turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, let's see, 3, 4. I'm gonna go ahead and step forward 5. I don't see him, but I don't see any other dangers either. 6. Okay, yeah. I don't see him, but there's no fire here, and that was him. So we know there's another monster yet still in here, but we'll have to hunt him down.
Fair enough. All right, Davak, the path looks clear, but you know there's another creature that ran inside, so what are you going to do?
I will. Come on. I will also run inside. Where did it go?
I don't see it, but it probably went this way.
Yeah. Okay, well, I can sprint. I'll sprint.
Okay. You see that
Oh, it
there.
went left.
Yep, you definitely found it. That's in. Okay, you're still going.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the end of my turn.
All right, cool.
Actually, I will move the corruption in front of me, though.
Fair enough. That did save Ire from getting hit, so very good. All right, Ire, you can see Davak ran in. Davak, did you say anything when you saw the creature? All right, so what are you going to do?
Yes.
Into the depths I go. I'll sprint.
And once we deal with the combat, I will describe the rooms in more detail.
Yep. All right, that's my turn.
Okay. All right, Pico. People have been heading into the cave. You know there's at least one creature left. What are you going to do?
guess I'll move forward.
Okay,
I'll hold up right here.
fair enough. And Galen, you can see that people are entering the cave. You know there's at least one creature left. What are you going to do?
I'm just gonna move in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just gonna go for the full sprint. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then the creature, seeing people chasing after it, and no longer being on fire, is just going to has enough movement to reach Ire, and he is going to attack. Unfortunately, none of his attacks are effective, and we're on round 6. Oreo, you can hear combat from inside the cave. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna go in. So this is my normal movement. Bonus action to dash. That puts me here.
Okay.
That gives me view of the creature, so I'm gonna attack with the bow.
All right, go for it.
And it's in melee again with Aya, right?
Oh, wait, did you use your dash?
That's a bonus action.
Okay, fair enough. It is in melee with Ire. Okay, that's a hit.
Uh,
And you finally take out the last creature. So I'm going to go ahead and take you out of combat.
6 rounds. Isn't that one of the longest combats we've ever done?
All right, so you have entered into cave. Unfortunately, a lot of in the having to fight those creatures, and you see 2 major chambers. The chamber to the north has rather large pedestals and um, a glass and metal object, a cylindrical object with a curved top in the center. And in the West Room, Ire, you recognize this room. This is where you woke up. You were on
Huh.
one of these smaller panels on the floor, and once you were taken from this room, you were put into a wagon that was covered, and you didn't really see much from there. But you do remember waking up and seeing humans for the first time in here. And this room has a lowered area, and it has 4 of these cylindrical objects. You can see this blue glowing from all 4, although the upper left object is definitely glowing the brightest. The other 3 look dim in comparison. And you can see various debris. You can see trash that was left behind. Sorry. See trash that was left behind in various areas. And Pico, you find the end of the tunnel over here, and you see a pile of large rocks. And based on you, due to your passive perception, you can see something reflective underneath the rocks. So what do you guys do?
I'm checking out the reflective thingy.
Okay, you pull the rocks away, and underneath you find a metal disc. It is 1 foot in diameter and 1 inch thick.
Neat.
Well, that's suspicious.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'll announce my finding to the others.
Ire, as you get close to these things, you notice that there seems to be some sort of metal panel attached. And on the metal panel, there are 2 metal objects that seem to be protruding, and these objects look like they're movable. And then you see a third rectangle that is completely flat and dark.
Dark as in unlit, or dark as in dark in color?
Um, just it's just a dark area. It's unlit, but it's also very dark in color.
So is that's all on? That's all like on
Yeah, it's like
the.
on the surface. There's that panel. It has the 2 protruding metal things that look like they're movable, and it's got a rectangle to the right of those metal things, all in that same panel. And each one of these has something similar.
Are they labeled? Is there any writing or
You
any
don't see any
inscription?
writing. There's some evidence that maybe there was once something etched on there, but it's worn away with age.
Maybe someone can try to use mending on that. Does anyone have mending?
Yeah, I got mending.
Over here.
Okay, so yeah, you go to mend it, but unfortunately, yeah, it's just been rubbed away from age. So yeah, you repair any damage, but you're unable to reconstruct the symbols.
Hmm.
However, you're pretty sure that the two metal objects that are sticking out, they're still movable.
Do I recall any memories of
Good
these
question. Go
objects?
ahead and roll a d8.
Rolling the dice. Oh, I do not.
Okay, so you do remember waking up here, but unfortunately, you're as unfamiliar with this place as everybody else.
I really want to touch these, but I don't know what they do.
Touch them.
So on and upon inspecting each panel, none of them have any
Yeah, they're
readable.
all
They're
about
all
the
worn.
same. Yeah, they're about the same condition.
I'm gonna try on one of these first. I'm gonna try. Does the darker part, is that like a button? Does it depress or is it just?
So yeah, no, there's just the two. There's the two that are sticking out that you can move, and those seem to act like buttons. The darker rectangle, you're not sure what it does. It's just flat.
And it doesn't push in or anything.
No.
All right, I wanna see what the left handle does. I'm gonna try
So you push
moving it.
it, and it pushes like a button, but nothing happens. Um,
The right one.
and nothing happens. However, you do know that these three are definitely dimmer than this one.
All right, well, fine. We'll try it on this one. I'll hit the left one.
You hit the left one, and suddenly a symbol shows up in red on that dark rectangle. And that rectangle is a
You're
little
cutting
less
out.
dark, but you
You're
can
cutting out.
see the etching there. And the etching looks kind of like sorry, wrong one. It looks kind of like a C with a colon.
Anything I recognize or?
No,
And that's all that happens. It's
yeah,
just
you pressed the button once, and that's what happened. Do you press it again, or do you do something else?
sure. I'll press it again.
You press it again, and the symbol changes to one that looks vaguely similar to one of the symbols that you saw in the temple. And at this point in time, every time you press it, the symbol changes. So I'm just going to show you what all the symbols are, because there are 9 of them, including the empty spot. And as you press it, the left button, it keeps changing between these symbols.
Look at
And when I press the right button, does the same thing happen?
So when you press the right button, whatever symbol you're on, it glows brighter, and then this cylinder suddenly gets brighter.
Oh, so it's like we're inputting a code.
Yeah, I want to
We should do
try
fishy. We should do
inputting.
the
Yeah, the
yeah, the
fish.
code. The fishy
Yeah, the
fishy
ones that I saw
squiggly
in
F.
the cave or in the pyramid.
Okay.
Spire.
The
So,
spire. Yeah, what
so
is?
looking at this, looking at that chart of symbols, which symbol do you push here?
Um.
I'll pull up the other code for
Yeah,
you.
it should be fishies, and then the circle with the
Okay,
clef.
so you do the fishies here. What do you do for this one?
The weird F circle.
The 0.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
and
circle,
then this one lights up next, and what do you do with this one?
the
Long
two.
F.
Maybe?
Okay,
Long
Yeah, the
F.
long X's.
and then this one lights up, and what do you do with this one?
Delta.
Triangle. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
once you do so, you get all those things in there, and suddenly the surface here starts vibrating. The ground starts vibrating, and an opening appears in the center of this floor, and you can see a ladder going down into the darkness.
Ooh.
Nice
Okay,
job.
before we do this, I wanna.
We should finish checking
Yeah.
out this area.
Yeah.
There's like a whole thing up here
Yeah.
too.
What is this guy? Does this have a panel or anything on it?
See,
Also,
this
these are like
does,
really
but
big.
this one seems to be dim.
Oh,
And you also see these protrusions in the ground. They're the same as the smaller ones where Ire came from, but they're much bigger.
Are there bigger
And-
fire?
Oh.
And they are all empty. There's nothing on them.
Ira, do
Big
you remember?
Brothers.
Yeah, do you remember Big Brothers or something like that?
You can roll a d8, Ire.
Oops. It would let me. Uh,
Oh yeah.
Yes,
oh,
he
All
remembers the
right,
Big Brothers.
you have a memory, and you remember these giant machines that they're very similar to yourself as far as having minds and being able to do things, but they were much bigger, and they you remember them having large weapons, strange beams of energy that can destroy things from great distances. They seem to have been designed for war.
wow.
And you remember being deactivated, and you remember this room being full of them. You're not sure why they're gone.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
Ire, how big were these other automata?
You would say that they were probably at least 12 to 15 feet tall.
Jesus Christ.
Massive.
Would they have fit out the cave entrance?
Um,
Really.
you think they probably could have basically crawled through, but it would have been very very difficult.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check the entryway and see if there's signs of a of things like that
Oh,
forcing
and
their
now
way
that you know
through.
what you're looking for, a lot of this debris and everything around is directly because of that. There appears to have been a lot of effort to squeeze those giant things through a small opening, and you can see the scrape marks. It didn't really occur to you they weren't natural before, but now that you know what you're looking for, it's as clear as day.
Does it look recent, or
In
as in
fact,
within a few years?
it does look like within a few years.
Hmm.
Oh, so that means some humans got him.
Yeah. Well, probably whenever I was taken out of here. Yeah.
Oh man.
And
Well,
you're reminded that part of your mission was related to this. You can bring it up if you want to take a look.
Right.
let's see.
Do I have any indication of where they would have gone? I mean, if they're that big, maybe they just left more lasting tracks.
You can see. It looks like I described crawling, but it looks like instead that they were basically dragged out of there. Probably with ropes and everything. And now that you know what you're looking for, you can see the tracks going to the south. And basically scrape marks. They definitely didn't move on their own power.
Did we ever hear about giant automata coming into the world,
You
like
did
our
not,
world?
and in
Maybe
fact,
they weren't active. Oh, sorry.
but in fact, um, you were part of your mission was to check to see if they were still here.
Oh,
Yep.
Hmm.
they are
Not
not.
many.
That's a clear negative. Well, we'll say we go down this ladder.
Yes.
Okay, let me go ahead and stack yourselves up in a pile, and then I will copy and paste you. So yeah, I'll just stack on top of each other. There we go. Copy, paste. Did I get everybody?
I think it's everybody.
So you'll probably notice that it is pretty dark down here. Those of you with night vision obviously will have an easier time seeing than those that don't. You also see that there are four half circular protrusions in the floor, and those of you with magic potential, you almost feel like they're almost sucking in energy. it's too weak to do anything, but you definitely get that feeling. And then you see that the doors they all have a handprint, but unlike the previous door, there's no light to them. It's just you just see the outline.
Oh, I can see again.
I turned on light on torch because I'm gonna turn on a torch.
Oh, do you have a torch?
I'm pretty sure I.
Okay,
I have
so
a
yeah,
lantern.
if you're using your torch, then that's fine.
How did you do
Yeah,
that?
I have 10. Actually, if you click on your token and then at the top right, there's different light settings.
Yeah.
So like, watch, I'll turn off my torch.
Wait, what?
Torch on.
Wait, how do you
Oh,
do
now
like?
I see it. Yeah.
Oh, light on lantern. I have a lantern.
Yeah, if you
I
want to go
have a
out and use
torch.
it and you're holding it in your hand, then you can go ahead and click on that. We'll just keep in mind. Just tell me that you're using your lantern.
I'm using my lantern.
I'm used.
I
Oh, I
don't
was
see
just gonna
that at
use one
all.
of my torches because
Oh,
I
okay.
I
Yeah,
don't need to hold shit in my hands
It's
and I have
along the
10.
yeah,
bar for
you
your
can just.
initiative.
That's
Oh,
fine. Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so is this door locked here?
Like I said, there's that handprint, but it is dark.
Oh, gotcha. Well,
And
I've got the torch light
something
now.
about this stuff sucking energy or something like
Yeah,
that.
you feel like there's this tingle, like it wants to suck energy.
Why are you
That's right.
green now?
I don't know.
You just green.
Oh,
Did you
you
hit
you
highlight?
turned on a highlight. There you
Okay, did I turn
Oh.
it off?
go.
Okay, good. Sorry. I apologize.
Okay. All right.
Lights out.
Oh.
You guys are all playing with the tools. All right,
Yeah.
so what are you gonna do?
Hand on handprint.
Yeah.
Nothing
Open
happens.
up them doors.
You put your hand there,
What
nothing
about?
happens.
Oh, it needs human hands. You
Human
silly
hand.
robot.
My bad.
All right,
Let's
you put
do
your
it.
hand on there and nothing happens.
What?
Hmm.
All
I'll go
right.
ahead and
You
put
do
my hand
notice
on
that they
there.
are rather dark.
Oh, I got this. I'll give some of my energy to this thing.
Okay, how do you do that?
I'll just poke it. I assume it'll just take it from me.
You poke it. You feel a little electric shock, but nothing else happens.
Well, what if I hold on to it?
It's shocking, but again, it's almost like it's not enough energy, or
That's
maybe not the right
irony.
kind of energy.
No,
Hmm.
wait. What if everybody goes to each corner, and then somebody goes to
Ah,
the front of the door?
Okay, yeah, you guys are all touching it, but it still doesn't seem to be enough.
that's so unfortunate.
Wait a second.
What are these round things on the floor?
Think,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, they're just part of the
yeah,
pattern.
just
Never
part of the
mind.
pattern.
I couldn't see
I'm
enough
gonna
of
go
them
over.
for it to.
Okay.
Go ahead, Regu.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go over to one of these circle things, and I'm going to start ritual casting. Identify, like literally right on it.
Okay, you ritual cast identify, which doesn't. But as the spell finishes, as you release the energy, it gets. You can see it getting sucked into this thing, and
Yep.
it starts glowing.
Oh, we just
You
have to
actually have to
cast
cast a
spells
spell
on it.
into it. Yeah.
I see.
I'm
And
assuming
I will
cantrip can
cast.
work too, so maybe you can just do a cantrip.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just use like mage hand on it or something.
You're casting what?
I'll.
Mage hand.
Okay, yeah, you cast as soon as you release the energy, it gets sucked into that object and it starts glowing.
Easy.
Okay, I'll just do shocking grasp on that thing.
This one's already glowing, but these
Oh,
two are
Yeah.
not.
I'll do that one then.
Okay, so yeah,
All
that
right.
one starts
Yeah.
glowing, and then this is the only one not glowing.
Right?
I can cast mend into it.
Okay,
Yeah, do it.
and that starts glowing, and then suddenly the handprints on this door, the north door, and the west door start glowing.
Rest
The
in
south
peace.
door is still dark.
Well, westward bound.
I think northward.
Sure. Sure.
Sure.
So you're gonna press the north door. Okay.
Yeah.
It opens. And beyond the door, you see these large metal objects with with these bands of metal crossing them, and then more metal below. It's hard to tell from what it is. Are you actually entering the room, Ragu?
Yeah, I would be
Oh, sorry, I
careful
was
just
trying to
flying
look.
into the room.
I was having some lag issues. I was really just trying to
Oh,
look
okay.
through the
Go ahead and move
doorway.
yourself to where you, yeah, okay. And then you
Wow.
see these semi or circular objects, although from that vantage it's hard to get a good read on what they are. And way at the end, that you can barely make out, are two metal objects that look a lot like really fancy chests or containers.
Hmm.
How big are they?
They're about a foot and a half long. I'm sorry, not foot and a half. About 6 feet long.
Whoa, that's big.
That's a big. We need to get in that.
So what is this
Now, one
floor
thing.
pattern?
Yeah, it's just a panel of it's just a bunch of panels that are seem to be seamlessly put. I mean, not they're seams, but there doesn't seem to be any gaps or panels above that you can get at. But it is a tiling metal pattern.
I see.
Are these holes with wires in them?
They're circular. You can see these bands of metal that are kind of coming up over it in a almost like a half sphere. And then underneath the bands, there's more metallic pieces.
Is there any way that I can kind of just on the very edge of the entrance of this spot to kind of either investigate or try and figure out what this whole floor thing is made out of, or what if there's anything that might help trigger like a trap or something? Maybe someone
Okay.
could help me with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your skill.
Yeah.
I guess perception. All right. So you get you're not sure why because the floor looks solid. It doesn't look like it moves. But there's something about these things that's setting off your senses. You have a feeling that um, entering the room will trigger whatever it is that these things do.
Um, who wants to see a bad idea in action? I'm thinking about sending a mage hand in.
That was actually what I was going to suggest, but I don't have one.
Anybody
Do you
have
have
any
one?
reason to not do that? Because I can cast it.
Go for it.
All right. I go ahead and conjure up a mage hand and start floating it through the room.
Okay, you start floating it through the room, and as soon as it gets to about here, you notice that these things actually rotate toward it, and then you see these beams of energy pass through where the mage hand was as it disintegrates.
Hmm.
How fast did they rotate?
It took about a second to get a lock.
A second, huh?
Does anyone have a mirror?
Yeah, that's not going to work.
A
Unless you're just
mirror?
trying to look around.
Well, I thought maybe if you took the mage hand in the mirror to see if it could reflect the light back on itself.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's that type of beam.
Well, even a laser, if it's powerful enough, can burn right through a mirror instead of really being reflected. So,
Wait, these are objects, artificer's lore. Am I going to? How do we deactivate these things? Looking for what I can see.
Okay, go
Off
ahead and make a
switch.
roll.
Or are you gonna help tell me what you figured out, or?
Sure.
All right. Case there, and there. Oh, so bad, so bad.
So yeah, you're thinking about it, but unfortunately, this stuff is unlike anything you've seen at home or studied, really. So you're drawing a blank, unfortunately.
Okay.
How does these things look like again? Like, it's just a half dome cover, and then there's a bunch of metal just on one side that's coming out with, I'm assuming, what look like maybe a laser gun or something like that? Like,
Yeah,
but
so
how does it?
it is a half dome cover, and there are some. There's basically these metal pieces that are kind of wrapped around, and then from inside that you can't see because we're looking at top down. Unfortunately, there does seem to be some sort of almost like a cannon but skinnier, and the beam seems to be coming from that.
Is there any way? I'm talking this to the team. What if there's a way to uh, jam that so
Mm.
that if it tries to shoot out, it, I don't know,
You're
self
saying
harm?
put a potato in the exhaust pipe or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What if we explore the rest of this place first, just in case we find something that might disable those?
Smart, smart.
Go
Yeah.
another room.
Let's just at
Yeah.
least open up the doors and just see what's in the rooms.
Okay.
Also, for what it's worth, my orders did specify that not to venture too deep, that we can always return in the future. So, just knowing that this is here may be enough if it looks too dangerous. Since we don't know what we're getting into, we want to be
Yeah.
careful.
And speaking of, I also want to be mapping all of this out that as we explore with my cartographer's tools.
Okay. So, Galen, you're opening this door over here on the right.
Yeah, yeah. Right
Fair
door.
enough. So you open it up, and
That's a
inside
big
you
crystal.
see a giant crystal, and it
Oh,
seems to be ebbing with energy, but it also seems fairly dim compared to what you would expect something like that. And Ire, as you're looking, you're not sure how you know this, but that seems to be a power crystal or a power
Power
source.
crystal, of course.
how could you?
So
Uh
what do you
huh.
do? You see? Oh, sorry. You see the room with this strange metal tiling, and then there's a depression about a foot, and then the crystal rises from the depression. The This room is about 15 feet in height, and you see doors on there see three doors in there, but even from here you can tell that the hands are not lit.
So, what exactly does the power crystal? This is just like
That's all you remember. It's a power crystal.
okay. Uh huh.
Do you tell us that?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, you guys, it's a power
Okay.
crystal. I don't know
In
what
that
that means.
case, I wanted to do. Well, actually, I haven't gotten in here yet. Just cursory looking around. Do I see any obvious control panels or any way to control or manipulate anything in here?
You do not actually see any control panels in there. You just see the crystal, and you don't see much around it too. The room looks fairly empty, more so than you're used to in these kinds of things.
All right.
There's
We
another
should
room.
we should throw like a mage hand in there, but
Yeah,
yeah,
so
let's open up the other room before we get too close to the big old power crystal.
Okay, so you guys are opening to the room to the left.
Sure.
All right,
yeah.
you open it up and you see what looks a lot like a storage room. The floor looks weird and the walls are made out of metal and the storage containers are all metallic, but otherwise it is definitely a storage container.
I'm gonna throw in a mage hand.
Do it.
Okay, I'll go ahead and send one in
Into where?
into the
This
west
room.
room.
Okay, you send a mage hand in and it goes in, no problem. What does it do?
Those look like boxes there towards the
Yeah,
front.
so
Might go
there's
ahead and.
definitely metal boxes and other metal containers.
I'll try pushing the lid off one of the boxes.
Okay, the box that you push the lid off happens to be empty, but otherwise nothing happens.
All right, try that with another one.
Okay, yep, you get it open and it is also empty.
I'm
I'm
gonna go ahead
gonna
and try reaching into those two barrel-looking things that appear to be
Yep,
open.
it goes in, it moves around, and it pulls out a a couple of thin rods of what looks like normal steel, um, but otherwise that's it. So maybe three of those. They're
Uh,
maybe a quarter of an inch in diameter and maybe 5 inches long, and it appears to be just normal steel. It's probably a bit more pure than what you're used to from your world, but otherwise it seems fairly normal.
take the risk and I'm just gonna go in. Anything happen to me?
Nope,
Yeah,
you're fine.
Okay,
fine.
so I'm just gonna go in and start looking at the rest of the stuff.
All right, so you see these metal containers. They look a lot like barrels, but metallic. Um, the rest of them seem to be closed, but there is it looks like on the top there's something you can perhaps turn. So what do you do?
I'll I'll start fiddling with one just to try and understand how that thing works.
Okay, so you mess with it for a few minutes, and then yeah, you start turning it, and then you hear a hissing noise, and then the lid suddenly comes off.
Okay.
And inside you find a small green disc about 3 inches of diameter, and that's all you find in this one over here.
Okay. So I let everybody else know. There's a green disc here.
green disc. We should grab it.
Now that's smaller than the one I found, right?
Yeah, the one you found was a foot in diameter and an inch thick. These are 3 inches in diameter and maybe a quarter of an inch thick.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'll take one like that. Is it just one or is it
You
several?
just found one in that particular barrel. Are you guys gonna search through the rest of them?
Yep,
Yeah.
let's check them
Yeah.
all.
All right, so yeah, you guys spend probably a good half an hour because it takes a while to get through them all and open them. And you find two more of the small green discs, and you find a small statue of a vaguely shaped humanoid. And by vaguely shaped, I mean it's like the temple. You see that depictions of humanoid creatures, but the areas where you'd have a defined face or hands or that kind of thing, it's diffuse, almost or oddly shaped in a way that it makes you feel like they're trying to hide the true underlying shape.
Weird.
So you found a total of those 3 inch, or three of those 3 inch green discs, and one of those small statues.
Just for the sake of knowing who's gonna hold what, should I hold on to all of the green ones? Or Pico, are you putting that in your list?
Um, hey, you can hold on to them if you want. If you don't want to be burdened, bogged down, I can go ahead and carry them.
I don't really care, I just wanna know who's gonna hold them.
So you're not sure about the discs, although they might count as well, but you know for sure that the small statue would count as an artifact from the Lumev civilization, whatever civilization built all this. And so you do know that based off of your things in your mission, that it is worth some money.
I'll go ahead and carry that one if you guys don't mind.
I'll go ahead and carry the discs.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's going through all of the barrels and
Yeah,
everything
you
that's
guys
open?
spent a good half an hour going through all the barrels and everything. Most of them were empty.
Is there anything along the walls or anything like that that would maybe give us an idea of, I don't know, like secret something,
Sure, go ahead
passage
and make
or
a perception check. Yeah, you're going around, you're looking around, and while it is kind of dark, you're pretty sure that you don't see any sort of markings or pictograms or anything like that.
So we're gonna have to go to the one in the what in the east, kind of figure out maybe how to. There's a way to defuse the ones in the north.
Gonna go ahead and send a mage hand in.
Okay. As when you send the mage hand in, the spell seems to get sucked into the crystal, which flickers briefly, then goes back to being dim.
I want to be by this door when that happens. Do I see anything change? With the things here
I'll
when.
go ahead and cast again.
Actually, you notice that those things they twitched when the mage hand disappeared. What are you doing, Pico?
Hmm.
I was gonna cast another one.
Okay, yeah, the
Uh,
same thing
you might be
happens.
powering up the
Yeah,
weapon
I was
system.
realizing that, so only doing this one more time. Oh, actually, that gives me a different idea. I'm gonna go ahead and send him. So, well, actually, I'm gonna stand here at the ladder, and I'm gonna send a mage hand in, and then as soon as it evaporates, I'm gonna look over at the crystal.
Yeah, so you're sending. Okay, just to be clear, you're sending the.
Mage hand is going north.
Oh, okay, my bad. So yeah, when the mage hand goes north, these things fire at it, and the crystal gets dimmer.
All
Got
right.
it. We can
I think
use
we
up
got a
its.
plan here.
Yeah, let's use up its power to make its thingies go away and then loot it.
Yeah, because if we have to power back up, we've got our option for that.
Yeah, we
So,
can always power it back up.
Okay, so you're going to keep sending mage hands in until this thing goes out.
actually, yeah, I'm going to do some experiments while I'm at it. I'm curious to see how it reacts, how they react to a minor illusion.
It's the same thing.
I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll create an assortment of increasingly amusing targets.
Okay, well, eventually it completely goes out, and the room becomes dark. The room to the right becomes dark. And then you send another one of your spells through to the north, and nothing happens.
All right. We ready to try and venture in?
Yeah,
Sure,
let's
sure.
do it.
Um, well, I guess if I'm going to try this, I'm going to move fast. All right.
All right, you go in, and nothing happens. You see you see the hemispherical objects. You can see in here. You can see various different metal parts, um, but nothing really makes sense to you. And then finally, you reach these two, which look like containers, and they appear to be unlocked, or at least you don't see any locks that you would understand.
Uh, oh, in that case, I guess we can try and open both of them.
Okay,
Yep.
you open them, and each one contains a single object. The one to the right contains a 3 foot long rod that um, that is about 3 inches in diameter, and it is made of silver. And then the other one has a 3 foot long rod, same diameter, that looks golden.
These things magical? Somebody want to check?
I can ritual cast if you guys wait a minute.
What are you ritual casting?
Well, let's look at
Ritual.
what everything else that's in here, and then you can just detect on magic on all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I ritual cast detect magic, so that should be for 10 minutes and everything in 30 feet, so I can
All
walk
of the
around and see
objects in the
everything
room
that's glowing.
are glowing except for the containers, which appear to be just plain containers, including the rods, which are both glowing rather brightly.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and ritual cast identify on the silver rod first.
Okay, you cast ritual cast identify, and like you expected, or would have expected, because again this was part of the setup, uh, it doesn't have much effect on objects from Lumev. However, you can tell it is magical, and you can tell that given time and research, um, and multiple castings of the spell, you can probably learn what one of these things does over a long rest,
Okay.
or
I'll
have
go ahead and
somebody
take
else do it.
these. I can go ahead and take these with me, and we can do the ritual casting and investigations on our long rest once we get one.
Obviously, you'll have to have access to, a library and space to do experimentation and all that kind of stuff, which you would have back in Mavin.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Do we also want to enter the east room since we now know that it's not gonna do anything to us?
Sure.
Step in.
Do we look at
Uh,
these?
Well, real quick, Ire, when you went in the room, go ahead. Sorry, in
Oh,
this room.
it's bright
Uh,
again.
Okay.
Go ahead and make roll another d8. Okay. You almost remembered something. Galen, what were you saying?
I thought it was 7 or 8 that I would remember something.
Nah,
No, it's
7
it's
or
an
it's
8.
8 or 1.
Oh, 8 or 1. Oh, damn it.
1 is something random. 8 is what you're looking at.
So one thing you realize is that this crystal is now completely dim, despite what it looks like on the screen. Um, and the handprints on these doors are definitely dark.
Oh, well then we'll just power it back up, yeah?
That could conceivably work.
Okay, so what are you doing?
Well, does everybody agree that we should power it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, although maybe we should be near the entrance in case there's some negative effect for doing so. It's easier to get out.
Okay, yeah, just in case it starts sucking our energy just by proximity.
Right. In fact, I'll tie my rope around me and pass that off. I'm going to stand relatively close to the crystal and start casting some minor illusions.
You start casting, and it does flicker a little as you're casting them, but you're sensing that it's not nearly enough power. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and make you make an Arcana check.
All right. Actually, it might be better if Ragu did.
I was gonna, yeah, that's why I stepped forward there.
Roll
I
mine
will
in.
go ahead.
Okay.
Well, actually, would this be closer to a spell type lore or artificer lore?
Probably Artificer.
Yeah, then
Okay.
Ragu should do it.
Why don't you go ahead and give me some assistance there?
Yep, I'll help.
Okay. So click that. Click that.
Okay. So Ragu, based on what you saw from those panels on the floor before and the effect the spells are having on this, you get the
Mhm.
sense that casting spells is one way to power this thing up, and it would definitely work. The problem is that you need to cast at least a level 3 spell.
Oh, what about a couple of level 2s? Could multiple help, or does it have to be?
You suspect that it's a threshold type issue, so you think that you would actually need multiple level 3s.
Righty. We're probably not going to be able to get enough energy between all of us.
Which has a fireball.
Yeah, we only
Yeah.
do that once right now.
True.
Now, this might be our clue that we need to come back later.
Yeah.
Wait a second. These rods are magical. I'm going to go ahead and take out the silver rod. Think maybe I should touch this to that crystal there, or is
You
that a
Don't
bad
you
do
want
idea,
to?
guys?
so,
Don't you
But
want to know first what the rods are before you just touch them or release the energy? Because what if the energy doesn't come back?
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's true. That's why I was asking before I actually physically did
okay,
it.
fair enough.
Hmm.
All right then. So I think this would probably be a good time actually to end the session. So let me go ahead and calculate everybody's experience points.
Maybe we should actually officially do the camp for the night thing then, because this is technically near the end of the day anyway.
Okay. All right. So, what are you going to do for camping or before you go to sleep, if anything?
Um,
I'll go ahead and be making notes about all this civilization type, stuff,
Okay.
because that's what I have to do. Are we gonna try one last time, maybe to get this door to open by charging these up more?
we could try that, I guess.
So yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and tell you that you do attempt to do that, but you're unable to get that southern door open. You have the feeling it's connected to that larger crystal for some reason.
Do I think it's gonna be like a level 3 into these things,
No, you
or
think it's going to be once the crystal's powered up, that one will also work.
okay? Now here's one last thought. We're probably going to need a level 3 spell to just get the threshold for this thing. Once we get that first threshold reached, can we very quickly put smaller doses into it and have it accept the charge? Or do I think that won't
You
work?
think it's probably going to be 3 level 3 spells.
Okay.
All right. So Pico, you got that have to be 60. So you got 2 failures, right? And Devak got two
Yep.
failures. Oreo, did you get 2 failures?
I only got one.
Okay. And Ragu, did you get any failures?
I thought I got a failure. I'm scrolling up, but I'm pretty sure I got one.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled
You missed a
like
necrotic blast against one of the panthers, and you missed an opportunity attack against one of them.
Okay. So that's
and
2.
I also okay, that's 2. Yeah, I
That's
also
2.
missed with my falchion rolling a natural 1.
And Galen, you got at least 1 failure, right?
I'm pretty sure I got both of mine, but let me double
Yeah,
check.
I've got him down as missing a firebolt against one of the Phoenix Hawks and also against a Cthulhu Panther.
And I think I or you missed twice, right?
He missed a flail attack against a Cthulhu Panther and missed an opportunity attack against a Cthulhu Panther.
Okay. So here we go. The total experience points for this session is 450. And then Oreo gets 30 from Learn by Failure, and everybody else gets 60. All right. And then I will go ahead and